And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is that time of month again. Hopefully, your favorite time of the month. I know it's one of my favorite times, but it's back to the podcast with Mr. Rattle Pokemon and myself. So, Rattle, I gotta ask you, man, how's everything going? I know you
It's
haven't been making a ton of videos in the last week, which is the complete opposite of Rattle. You know, we expect a new
yeah,
video
yeah,
every
yeah.
day. But how's
I
everything
had
going?
uh I had a little bit of burnout. There was the 2 weeks prior to that I was still pumping out videos and then also doing lawsuit document type stuff and not sleeping enough. So this week I decided, hey, I'm just gonna do some live streams. I'll do them in the evening, and yeah, it was a nice, I guess, way to get back into it, do something different, try to get off the investigation mode that I was in for that
Yeah.
amount of time. But also, we probably shouldn't call it that time of the month. I feel like
That
this,
has other innuendo.
yeah, other names.
Yeah. No, but
But yeah, I'm good. Other than that, pretty good. Doing good. As good as I can be.
yeah, I saw you were actually playing the game, which I haven't been able to watch a lot of those, but how have you been enjoying the actual, game itself?
The game itself, so like Scarlet and Violet, it was pretty glitchy. Kind of not expected or not. I mean, it didn't meet the expectations in terms of like the amount of like bugs and glitches and weird stuff that was going on
Why do you, let me
for
ask you,
like
why do you why do you
a
think
big
that is?
title.
Why is that? Cuz Pokemon's this gigantic company. They dump a
I don't
million
I don't
trillion
know. I have no
dollars
idea.
and then they have a glitchy game. Why though?
I mean, they don't get punished for it either, though. Like,
Yeah.
if there was some company that came out with a game and it wasn't Pokemon and it was glitchy like that, I mean, at the same time, it kind of gave them press, even though it was like negative press. But regardless, it was still a Pokemon game. It was still really fun. It was debatably maybe like the best game because you could play it on console. It was kind of open world. Like Sword and Shield wasn't really open world. There was an area that was a little bit, but this was more like you got to actually travel to the town, but you can travel to another town if you really want to. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Still same like core Pokemon gameplay. Oh, I'm loud again.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
Turn me down.
Yeah, I got you turned down. I'm turn me back up. I'm pretty high though, but let's see. I'll try this. Hopefully that works for people at home.
How's it? How's it sound, guys?
Yeah.
Volume test, right? Volume test. Volume test.
But
Testing 1 2 3.
so I want to ask you real quick shout out to Mr. James from Z&G Emporium. So if you guys aren't familiar with my channel, or maybe you're finding this podcast for the first time, I reached out to James from Z&G Emporium. He does consignment services, but he submitted a bunch of cards for grade in the CGC, and they all came back inked. And he wasn't even aware that they were inked when he sent them. And one of the cards he sent was a Raichu, a 5.5. So I reached out to James and I was like, hey James, do you mind if I get that Raichu 5.5 because I want to make a video on ink cards? And then James sent me this card, which a 5.5 unlimited Raichu between friends. This is not a big deal. But then James also decided to send me 9 other cards, and I haven't revealed all the cards yet. But this is not the best card. There are bangers in the. I showed Rattle before the stream started. There's some really really good cards. So James is a solid dude, but it brings up the question of. So I'm gonna make a video where I'm gonna show everyone how you could identify ink cards through slabs, and then I'm gonna crack every single one of these slabs, and then we're gonna look at each card individually with, you know, and with like a black light, and you'll really be able to see the inking. It becomes very obvious, but even though there's inking, like this card is still an 8. It's still a, near mint card. It's in good condition. It's literally just a couple blue dots on the back of this card, which therefore makes it ink. But then it brings up the question of, and there's nobody better to have this conversation with or debate than the other person on the screen, Rattle, is if I remove that ink, am I tampering that card? Because I would make the argument, Rattle, that the person that put the ink on that card is the one that damaged it. So I want to hear your
Or
thoughts
is
on
it,
this.
or is it double altered at that
Is
point?
it yeah.
I think if you use like something, if you use something like a polish to remove it, which I don't think you can, regardless, because there's still going to be that blue ink like within the core itself. You basically have to damage the card to the point that the ink is no longer present, if that's even possible. Like, and that gets the point. Like, if it's heavily inked, is it to the point that you're gonna have to remove so much card that they you can't get it graded anymore?
I
That
don't
sort of thing. It's kind of
know.
like it's a shitty situation, and like all of the polished stuff, all of that stuff recently is the same kind of situation. It's like you're altering a card.
Hmm.
You might not care because you're going to sell it to someone, and then they're stuck with the problem, or they pass it on to someone else.
Well, I'm not
But if you're a
selling.
collector,
I
you
would
don't
never
want to buy
sell any
that.
of these cards. Just
But yeah,
yeah,
but
let's
like
throw that out there.
if you physically damage the card to the point that the ink was no longer there, you have to remove some of the actual card itself. Clearly not with trimming, because then you're potentially, that's a whole nother area that you get into. But I don't know if you just if you scraped it enough to get the blue off. It's sad to do so because the card, from what I saw that you showed, they looked like they were in pretty good shape regardless,
Yeah,
and would have been a nice near mint light play whatever copy.
yeah. I mean, he literally only put a couple dots on it. Like it's they're not bad. I mean,
Hmm. I
it's
mean,
just a shame he did this, but
they could be they could be polished too. I mean, if someone's gonna ink them, they might have also with the polished stuff. I'm not like everyone's like, oh yeah, you can use a black light probably. The black light doesn't show
nah,
from what I
I
can
don't know.
tell.
I mean,
You'd have to use magnification to look at it to see if if the texture, if the clear layer still had the original texture that it should have to it.
yeah,
But
like
PSA or CGC or whoever's grading this stuff is not going to, they're not going to invest to have a microscope for each individual grader that's there.
yeah, it's hard to see. But when I that's why I want to like show these. But you can clearly see where he inked it. Like when you put this black light to it,
Yeah.
and
Usually
it's
with like the ink, if it's a, I mean, sometimes they use like a blue Sharpie or pen or whatever
yeah,
type of blue ink they can get their hands on. Even if you tilt it in the light, you can see there's a slightly different color blue.
yeah. So when you
But I
turn the
mean, if you're
black,
buying a collection like they were, you're probably not looking that closely at it. Maybe you're
no,
meeting up with someone, you flip through it, you flip through the binder, and you see like, or maybe you don't, didn't even look at the backside of most of them. So
yeah. I mean, if you threw this in a binder, or even threw it in a penny sleeve, and then a card saver won, and you handed it off to somebody, it would be you would be
it'd be hard
hard
to tell.
pressed to see it without a black light. Once you put the black light on, it pops. But people buying cards at card shows and stuff, like I want to put this video out there so maybe that will be like a good learning for people. It's like, hey, let me go on. This is a $5 black light from Amazon. It's not an expensive black light. Like
Yeah.
you spend $5 in James's case, you could have potentially saved yourself five figures. Like the collection he bought was pretty significant. Multiple
Yeah.
shinies, first edition base, Charizard's base set too. Like big cards are in that pile, so
If you're buying a collection like that too, make sure you get like ID or something from the individual that you're purchasing from, because like it's the same thing with like a pawn shop. Like I don't know what the rules or laws are everywhere, but from what I know, majority of places, at least here anyway, they have to keep a record of like who traded something in, because they probably get stolen stuff all the time, and then the police are able to like trace it back to exactly who it was. Now, not saying that they might not spend the money, or you might not get the money back, or you might not have any way to get the money back, because if they don't have any money, you can't really take any sort of action to get that $5,000 back. But even in like a small claims or something like that, but
yeah. And
it's just another step.
yeah, I don't know. I'm like him and Holland because if I if I were to keep these cards, I would just put them in a binder. But I don't want to put them in a binder and have ink on the back. I'm to the point. I'm the
Well,
type
that's
of collector. I would rather damage the card and get rid of that inking, which shouldn't be there, because I'm fine with putting a damaged card in a binder. Like it doesn't bother
mhm.
me. It does bother me to put a card that I know is altered, and like I think that's where I'm struggling the most. Because
Yeah.
I feel, and a lot of people make this argument that by me removing that ink is also me altering that card. But where I struggle with that right now is I was actually this card I showed on my live when I talked about this. If I took this Geodude from Fossil and I threw it across the room and I damaged it and then I sent it away for grading, I don't think anybody cares. They're just like, well, that was stupid. You should have thrown it across the room. But nobody cares that I damaged this card and then send it away for
Yeah.
grading. But
Well, I mean, people are doing that all the time with the like the PSA one stuff. I hate watching that. I like don't like it's
yeah, I mean,
why would
there's two
and then
PSA ones right
who are the
there.
people that are like they're like okay, well I can't afford the 10, so I might as well collect ones. But if like that's the thing, I get the appeal if it's like childhood card and you put it in your pocket and you folded it into an airplane and you threw it to
Yeah.
a girl and it said I love you on it or something like that. Yeah, okay, I get that, but like just wrapping it around your junk, sending it in
Is
to
that
get
altered
to
when
get
it's wrapped
lesser
around your
grade.
junk?
Uh, I mean, I don't know if anyone else would want to own it if they knew what happened to it,
Yeah, but
but yeah, you see a lot of people are like, oh yeah, they're my cards, I should be able to alter them, but like, and even if someone's like, oh, I'm not going to sell them, I mean, Poke Flute said he wasn't going to sell his autographed cards either that he wiped, but he does, and he is. So like, even if you're not going to, my apologies, we're all going to die someday. It's the grim reality. Someone else is going to end up with those cards. They're going to be altered.
yeah,
They might get deceived, whether it's intentional or not. They end up with something that's not worth as much because any of these people, you can ask them, and no one can give the honest answer that I'd rather have the card that's a PSA 10 that's altered, that's been polished, and had part of the surface removed, or the real genuine copy that got a 10. Like
yeah.
you're gonna pick the copy that's legitimate. Like anything that's altered, like look at those green label ones. Do you think those sell for the same price as what a regular one would? No, they wouldn't.
Like, why would you want this? Like,
Exactly,
you gotta
because it's
crack
altered.
it
It's
and take the ink off. I mean, there's
but
some.
even then, like James said, like he didn't really want to sell them to someone because if he sells them to someone, they're gonna crack them out and potentially sell them to someone and rip somebody off.
Yeah,
It's just
and you would.
and
You
someone ruined
could.
like perfectly good cards. Like even if there's wear on them, like it's still better to have it that way than altered.
Yeah. But speaking of altered cards, you made a video, and it's one of the more ridiculous videos that has come out in definitely 2024, and you can make the argument for 2023, was the guy that graded that one of one card at PSA. You got the big collector sign behind him, and then
Mhm.
he stands up and he's like, before I go over this card, I just want to give a huge shout out to Kurt's Card Care. And it's like, I mean, it
How?
it almost seemed fake. Like when I watched that video for the first time, I
It,
thought it was like, oh, okay, there's no way he's actually at PSA headquarters, literally calling out a product that is against
yeah.
PSA's terms of service.
The worst part is he's like, this is the biggest, the greatest thing that I'm gonna show up to PSA and grade. It's like the one of one. It's ridiculous. Like this is gonna get so much attention, and at the same time thinks it's a good idea to shout out the card altering company, the company that supplies the friggin' the the polish.
Was he
Like
getting paid by Kurtz to do that? Like what?
he must have been.
But
Why
how?
would you do it otherwise? Like you're completely throwing yourself under the bus. Like he's not gonna just do that for free.
Yeah.
Like he probably has like some kind of sponsorship. They probably discussed it beforehand. Kurt was going on. He's like, "Oh, I'm so I got. Did you guys see the shout out?" And then he was wearing the jersey of the player. Then like like mouthing off. It's just like, "Oh yeah, you people, you guys are just haters, and you guys care if people are polishing their kind of like Kurt doesn't care because he's just selling the product. He's
Yeah.
selling $60 friggin' polish that you can probably buy anywhere in existence. He's putting a sticker on it, in my opinion, probably,
Oh,
and
is this the point in the
selling it.
video where you should say everything in this video is
Everything in this video is my opinion.
my opinion and
All
my
videos,
opinion alone? Rattle's
all
opinions do
yeah.
not reflect the opinions of Knowledge
Hold on,
Cards.
hold on.
Rattle
There's
put
the
up
just.
his beautiful legal disclaimer. Pause the video, read it if you would like. But
Yeah, but yeah,
yeah, it's when I watched that video, it was wild. And How does like
But
PSA corporate?
clearly it wasn't like an oopsie doopsie because then he went back and he made multiple posts on Instagram where he was thanking Kurt's Card Care, and then he realized that he messed up and removed it, like edited the Instagram comments or Instagram post itself.
uh, uh, Base Toast said, "I always like PSA, starting to lose confidence." Who do you have more confidence for? CGC, the company where somebody literally took a pair of scissors.
The answer the answer is yourself. You
Yeah,
should trust yourself only.
yeah. I mean, there's been some crazy things that have happened like lately with Graydon, and
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the big stuff that we've seen, like the CGC errors, they're just like they're so excited to be the ones that are gonna grade all this stuff that's not verifiable, that's like got weird backstories, and people that the story's coming from someone who owns copies of the cards, and they're just gonna ignore that information. The errors that are like they're gonna just grade anything that looks like an error. There was the Charizard that was laminated and someone pulled the lamination off and they called it like an insufficient ink or blocked ink or something like that. Like all they had to do was ask the person that the person bought it from. Like they had to do minimal research
yeah,
to find out that like, hey, this is just a damaged card that we called an error, that we graded as an error. Or
yeah,
the cut cards, like if the card lines up like it could be a normal card, well, what are you doing grading it as an error? Like, even if it came out of the pack like that, you can't grade it.
yeah,
Sometimes you just have to not grade things.
yeah.
And the
Just
grading
say,
companies don't understand that.
yeah.
But with the,
Questionable
or the
authenticity. That's what you throw
yeah,
out. Questionable. It's like
with
I don't
the,
know. Maybe
with,
it came out of a pack, but I can't tell.
if you can't tell, if you can't prove it, if it's not like something that clearly was factory, you just don't grade it. That's just what it is. Or if the backstory isn't there,
Yeah,
at the very least, if you're going to grade that stuff, the pre-release Raichus and the proto stoises and stuff like that, you have to document everything, put it in the case. You need to clearly indicate, like, hey, do you want the full story? What as much as we can possibly know about this thing? You scan the barcode, you go to the web page, and it tells you everything. But they don't. They don't. It's like the Sean Bassick stuff. It's just like it doesn't say that it's non-factory cut on the label. They like avoid anything on the label that will make it seem like it's less valuable, like it's altered, like it's not factory.
yeah. And
Instead
it's
of just being upfront about it, and then you look at the cert number, it doesn't say that either. So like at the very least, if you're gonna pretend there isn't enough room on the label, put it on the website in the
I
very
think
least. But
that's fair.
with the Webinyama, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Um, the we see this all the time. Like they're gonna fight over the big stuff. They want to be the grading company that does the big stuff because it's gonna get the headlines, it's gonna get the attention, and maybe they should have been more careful with that. And I think it bit them because now it looks stupid because you got this idiot saying, "Hey, I use this thing, I polish my cards, and thanks to the card polishing company, couldn't have done it without you."
Yeah, that's
like
it's
like
just
what?
such a terrible
And
take.
to do it right in the collector's place, and no one says like, "Hey, you probably shouldn't do that." No,
Yeah, you're
like
literally
cut it off.
breaking terms
Don't
and
do it.
service. Yeah.
Don't include that in your YouTube video.
Uh,
It's just ridiculous. But we saw the same thing with like the One Ring. It was like a bidding war. Like if you pull a card like that, I they in the video that they put out, it seems like they paid grading fees for it. They let on there was a number for it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't actually pay for that. Like the One Ring, they were like, "Oh, it is like we're bringing you in. We're going to the water park while you're
yeah.
here.
Well,
We're gonna."
Beckett made their own special like label just for that one of one ring. I think they showcased it, and then CGC. I believe that the CGC bounty was $1,000, meaning if. And I could be wrong with that number, but I'm pretty sure it was a
Is that
thousand. Where if you
that
graded
seems
it with
wrong.
CGC, they paid you $1,000 just to grade that card with them. So
Yeah, so PSA probably did something. They're at least flying you in and doing it for free
yeah.
because they want the press. They want it to be in that holder.
So I don't know if you remembered, but when Nat Turner came on my channel for an interview, and if anybody out there doesn't know who Nat Turner is, he's the president and CEO of Collectors. They own PSA. he was originally supposed to come on my channel for an interview, and then he had to cancel last second. The day he canceled, just ironically, was the same day that they graded the 1 of 1 ring card. So I don't know if that's why he canceled. And then we ended up having the live like 2 weeks after the fact. But if you haven't had a chance to watch that live, I do recommend anybody who's new to this channel go check out that live. It's a good live. A lot of stuff that he talked about during that in that video has come like true. So it's interesting. But yeah, that was a hot take. Fucking shouting out the card altering service in the
Was that
middle.
there was that was like, not only was it like self-destructive, but it also just like everyone involved looks so bad.
Yeah.
Like PSA looks terrible because it looks like they either were negligent or can't tell.
Yeah.
Probably just couldn't tell, I would guess, or just thought like, hey, maybe he has the common sense to not say the quiet part out loud, and he said the quiet part out loud.
What movie is that?
Like,
It's like you said the quiet part out loud and the loud part quietly. What movie was that? I forget.
I
Somebody
can't
in the chat let
remember.
me know.
It's probably been used a few times.
Uh, but I mean, it's up to you. You don't have. I'm sure a lot of people at home just kind of want to know if there's anything you could talk about. I know you're going through all your court case
Oh,
stuff, and is there anything you could talk about right now, or is it kind of just because everything is
yeah, we get
updates?
into it a little bit, and I'll be putting out some videos next week, some new videos. So for the time being, and over the weekend, much appreciated to everyone that has been rewatching or watching for the first time the Sean Bassick videos that have been re-uploading. So I'll cover it and I'll show the receipts and all that this week in the videos. But essentially, Mr. Bassick, who has filed a lawsuit against me because of, I guess, a variety of reasons. Apparently, I'm a criminal organization, which is hilarious. Definitely not. For the record, definitely not a criminal organization. I like to cover criminal activity in Pokemon, but that's as close as it gets. He has been, well, I guess he initially flagged 4 of my videos for copyright infringement because I used his Omega Mystery Box image within the video. Within like a long ass video, the image of his box was shown, so we tried to file that with YouTube to get the videos removed. They denied him. We have a nice little article that we can look through, or a nice little comment from Sean, signed with the it says penalty of perjury at the bottom where he signs off on it, which is pretty funny. Clearly fair use, along with everything else that is on my channel. I'm not just gonna straight upload someone else's content without the permission or some kind of fair use involved. He got denied. Recently, he has been false flagging my stuff for privacy, which is very nice of him. The majority of the videos got removed. I have been re-uploading those. I have sent appeals through YouTube, so I don't know if the videos are actually going to come back or not. But if they're not, it's okay. We're going to gradually re-upload them, and he can do the process all over again, essentially. So if you see those videos, if you can, click on them, put them on in the background, stick a like on them, share them with anyone that hasn't seen them already. So essentially, just want to make it a deterrent for false flagging my stuff, in that even if he false flags it again, if we get 1,000 people, if we get 2,000 people that watch this video again that didn't watch it before, clearly that should be some kind of deterrent for falsely flagging it as privacy. There's no private information there. It's all public information. It's very hard to find public information, but it is public information nonetheless. So that's the strat. We got more Sean Bassick, noob Sean Bassick videos. We got old Sean Bassick videos being re-uploaded. It's I don't know if you ever heard of Shark Week, but it's it's like Shark Week, but Sean Week. It's Sean Week.
Oh boy.
Probably coming up here. So it might be an old upload, might be a new upload throughout the week. But it's coming along. 2 weeks from hell, putting together legal documents, running a channel, promoting products and stores and everything else. Very little sleep. Was pretty much going insane. But this last week, just taking it easy. taking a step back, doing some live streams, playing some video games, switching it up. Definitely helped with the reset.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
good to have that reset. I know what you're going through is tough, and
yeah.
I know you got a lot of people, especially people watching this video, are rooting for you. So it's tough, man. But I think you're doing this for the
It's
right reasons, and if you come out in the
yeah,
end, and I don't know very much about slap lawsuits, but I do know that it's a potential that whoever filed that slap lawsuit, assuming you win, they might be on the hook to pay all that money back. So if that happens, that will be a
mhm.
big deterrent for those people. It's like not only are you going to have legal fees, you might have to potentially pay the person you're suing if that slap lawsuit doesn't like work out. So
Right. So not only as a deterrent for doing it to me, but also a deterrent to the many people that he's done it to in the past. And I don't need necessarily mean he has filed lawsuits against people in the past. He got caught lying on one of my videos, saying like, "Oh, you're the only person I've had the displeasure of suing." I mean, you think I
oh,
can't easily check that you've sued other people, that you've filed a lawsuit against somebody else in the same state court? Like, ridiculous. But
sorry for everybody out there. I literally just think I accidentally flipped off my so you probably could still hear me, but I think I just knocked out my
oh yeah, we can hear you. You knocked out your headphones? Don't unplug the Ethernet. Don't do it. But anyway, lots of lies. Solid case. Gonna be awesome. Through the worst part of it now, I think. That's about it. Podcast mode. Sing. What are you doing over there, PK? You're out of control. How's it going, chat? We got Baz Toy saying PK is still lower, significantly lower than Rattle.
Oh. So
All right,
I
turn me
just cuz
turn me down or turn you up.
sorry. So this whole time you weren't on the screen, so I kicked out the like thing like the port with my foot. It literally like knocked it out of my computer. So if my screen
What?
was just black. I don't know if it was still playing for other people or what.
Oh, did you guys see me?
Oops.
Was I on screen the whole time, guys? Are we having technical difficulties?
Yeah, we're back. We're back. We're back. Don't worry. Listen. Never at
Can they
any
see me now?
I've
The
never at
volume is better now for both.
I've never at any point in my entire life have I ever pretended like I was good at this whole YouTube thing.
Yeah, but you should be. You do it all the time.
Oh, you would think I do it all the time, but every time it's flying by the seat of my pants, just hoping shit
You need
doesn't go
to. We
wrong.
need to get you some like online OBS courses or something.
Yeah. So if
I'm
anybody
gonna,
out there doesn't know,
or I'm gonna
like,
go visit you and I'll just rig everything up so that it's perfect.
yeah, so like you can see when I do my normal stream, I use OBS to crop my image, but whenever I'm through Discord, I have to like move my desk. That's why it's super
Yeah,
close to the shelf. But like people are always asking like why don't I do collection tours? Like that's just one of the shelves, you know. It's
what do you got in there? Is that Japanese booster boxes?
no, that's
Lego?
I see a Flintstones booster box.
Oh, it's just random booster boxes
Yeah, some new
on the shelf
medicine.
with the 20 on it.
Some so there you go. The top one is Vampires and Vixens. Right below it is TY Beanie Babies booster box. The one below that
There
is
was a Beanie Baby TCG.
yeah.
What the hell? How have I never seen this? I mean, I don't think I would have seen it outside of you showing it. What the?
we
Of
got all
course there is.
we
It
got all
was. It
kinds
was.
of cool stuff. But like that's just one shelf, and then as the camera keeps panning, there's three
More
shelves on
shelves.
this wall, three shelves on this wall, and then all. So at the top, this is all comics. So
I think you need more totes or boxes or something. Would help.
like that top is all comics. So there are these.
Nice.
So this
Churros.
is original 1988. This was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #5 comic. So if you're a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, I got just a bunch of cool stuff.
Bunch of turtles. I like turtles.
It's not just Ninja Turtles; it's everything. But there's a lot. I just got a lot of stuff.
I have a lot of. Don't know where I have them. I have a lot of Venom comics. I used to love those as a kid.
Yes, that's why I always tell people I have a lot of stuff. But no, I don't have. I think I want to say that might be like one of the first times in my channel's history where I've ever panned the camera,
Shown that
like
part.
even a little bit.
I feel like you might need to do a video showing all of your dead TCGs.
Yeah, there's some good ones.
If you haven't already, I haven't seen one.
No, I don't. I don't think people would want to watch that stuff. So
Really?
yeah.
Chat, would you want to see all the I'm curious what's there. I'm sure I've seen some of it, but
You've seen a good majority.
every now and then you bring one out,
like
a random.
But like this, so like just this box right here.
What is in this box? You have it close by, so it's got to be good, right?
So, well, these are just like.
Oh, these booster packs. Are those like the sample packs?
Yeah, this is just a box of sample packs. So I don't even know.
Did you just
how many?
Did you just buy someone out on sample packs?
I don't know. You know, I just accumulate rattle. I just accumulate.
Or you were gonna send them to Z and G, and then they told you no.
I just accumulate stuff. I don't always know how I accumulate it.
The only dead TCG I have is Metabots, and I have the entire set, and that's it. I don't have any sealed product. Open them.
Yeah, it's just a lot of stuff.
Killer Blue saying they've never seen your legs before now. You got dead TCGs and leg stream.
Oh, they got the leg reveal. I see. That's supposed to be behind the paywall. I don't have a paywall, but the leg's supposed to be behind the paywall. But yeah.
Only fans for legs.
But I don't know. I got this. Do you still have this? Yeah, I'm sure you still have this. Where's yours? Everybody out there
The
knows
fossil sheet.
No, this is from
the Rusty visit.
Yeah, fossil. So.
Rusty was a very good host. It was pretty fun. Especially the bulldozer.
Oh yeah.
If anyone didn't see it, there's a nice clip of me riding a bulldozer with Rusty hanging off the side of it. PK recording us.
Yeah. That was a good day.
Knocking a tree down.
Let's see. Ooh. There we go. I could do this. One day I'll have to just go through like what's on my shelves too. I did the shelf when I first put it up.
Shelf tour?
Yeah.
You probably do it with your phone. You got a binder here? A binder tour?
We can do. Hold on. I got something cool. Ready?
Now you're hiding your legs.
So.
Oh yes, the Barbasol.
I think I showed this on a stream.
You've shown it to me, but I don't know.
So if anybody out there knows at home what this is from, so yes. You know what I got to do though is I got to fill these up with something.
Kurt's card care.
Yeah, it's like where does PK hide his Kurt's cards?
It's the altering Barbasol.
It's in the Barbasol can.
Yeah, Kurt's alter care.
It's like, yeah. So I've had this in the back, but like, see, like this stuff has been in the back, but if you don't see it, you don't know what it is, and it's like, what is this random metal thing? But,
you get there's gotta be the Easter eggs. You just gradually throw in, have it every video or every live that you do show one of the items, and then only the truest fans will know all of the items on the shelf.
Yeah.
Little segment action. Is it there's a Raichu binder, isn't there? A Raichu binder?
It's not a Raichu binder, but It has a lot
There's
of
Raichus in
Raichus
it.
on it. This is like a Raichu page.
Nice.
So you got Team Rocket, Fossil, Bayset, Stormfront, Emerald. Uh, this is not Team Rocket. If you look right there, it's Legendary Collection. It's a non-holo. It came out of the Turmoil theme deck for Legendary Collection. Raichu Prime. This was a gift, actually, from Pokesnipes.
Nice.
So this is the Voltorb. I think it's SH3 from SH3. Wow. Look at that. Look at that memory. SH3 from
What's this? Why is the Voltorb in there?
It's a shiny. It's from Stormfront. I don't know. It just wound up on that page.
No, and I know, but it was weird that he was in there with the Raichus.
Yeah.
He's electric type, so I guess that makes sense. But
They got base set.
Pikachu's.
Yep, base set first edition. Just an unlimited. And then, obviously, the reimagined Pikachu from Rise and Rivals. Some Dark Charizards. And then you got... This is just... That's about enough for this.
A Victini on the top that you cracked.
I cracked a couple of them. I don't know which one that is. But it's just a binder with, like, cards that I think are cool. But
That's fair. I like the. I've been really into the black and white shinies. Ooh.
Oh, okay, Rattle. Ready? I'm gonna test your You ready? I'm gonna test your Pokemon knowledge.
No. Yeah, but all your tests are like, what is this set? And like,
no, every binder needs.
Remember.
Every binder needs one of these, and if you don't know where it's from,
no, I know exactly what that is.
You're not a true Pokemon
that's
collector.
Easy one. That's the fruit roll up.
Yes, the fruit roll Meow.
Meow. Not to be outdone by the fruit roll up Charmander.
Let's see.
Which there's no way to tell other than the sheer scent of the Charmander. If it smells like fruit roll ups, then it came from that package. So the starters were in there as well, but they were just like the regular versions.
Yeah.
Of the card. So there was no way to really tell. So there was like an ongoing meme that people were like looking to buy fruit roll up Charmanders. It was mostly on E4.
I mean, you could get the craft W stamp Charmanders from Australia. But yeah, man. So tell me what else is new. Like, I know it's just been. Have you been paying attention to like the TCG at all? Have you been watching any of my videos? I recently purchased a case of Brilliant Stars booster boxes. I think Brilliant Stars is going to go out of pretty soon. I know you don't really speculate on stuff like that.
I try not to speculate, or I try not to like. I usually just pick up what I pick up, kind of at release or near release. I mean, during the pandemic when it wasn't possible or stuff was like overpriced on release, I didn't right away. But now where like stuff is coming out and it's cheap enough, I kind of just set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, rather than, speculating, waiting to buy it, regretting not buying it, trying to time it, trying to catch it on its lowest, or it goes up $20 or it goes down $20. Just kind of grab it at the time. But yeah, Brilliant Stars, I think it's pretty awesome set. All the modern stuff is really good. All the Sword and Shield stuff. Scarlet Violet stuff is just as good. People just kind of, I guess, don't realize it, maybe.
Do you have a favorite set, and is it Evolving Skies just because of your epic Moonbryon streams? Where
No. The Moonbryon's not even necessarily my favorite card from Sword and Shield. I don't know what it would be. I haven't really thought of that, but it wouldn't be the Moonbryon. I can't imagine.
If you had to sell your collection, at what point does the Moonbryon get sold? I mean, it's gotta be.
I can't sell that one. I mean, the thing with like selling collection, and I have dabbled into that a little bit with the current situation, the current legal situation, which kind of sucks. Sold the first edition base Charizard.
That Moonbryon special. I mean, where
the
did
Moonbryon? I mean, the Moonbryon. That's the thing too. Is that the Moonbryon isn't that expensive? So like sentimental value versus dollar value is definitely an offset. So sold a lot of my sealed product in order to fund the basic lawsuit stuff. Not fair if I'm asking people to contribute and not doing so myself. And I don't want to shove it in anyone's face or anything like that, but I do want people to know that that I have put a considerable amount of money towards making sure that that we stop bad actors in the hobby, including Sean.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you told me some of the cards you sold, and they were some big ones. So,
Yeah.
well, that's a beautiful.
Rest in peace, first editions, Aaron.
Yeah.
We'll get it back. We'll get his art back. We'll fill the binder back up. The binder's looking a little empty there on the front page. I had the first edition base set complete. It's okay.
Well,
it'll be all right. It'll work out, and it's for the best. And for anyone that knows me or anyone that like has been around, I don't sell personal collection items. But if there was any reason to ever do so, this is it, because it's in the best interest of everyone that was screwed before, everyone that was screwed before and can't talk about it, and everyone that would potentially be screwed in the future. So, I think it's a very good cause, is what I'm trying to say.
But even with I know you had to get rid of your first edition Zard, but even with that, that's replaceable, you know? And then if it is replaceable, you get to make new memories with it. You get to draw a new dick into the case and then crack
into the slab. Yeah.
So if anybody doesn't know, like the backstory to Rattle Zard was when he got the case, he carved a big dick into it, and then he like put it onto Reddit and just let Reddit do its thing. Like, I can't believe somebody did this to my Zard. What was the exact story again? It was.
I said that like my ex left
ex.
me, and before she walked out, she carved a dick in the case of the Charizard. I was gonna crack it anyway. I bought a graded copy. It was a PSA 7, first edition base Charizard, super duper clean 7. Like probably would have been an 8 if you'd sent it in a couple times. And so it was just, I carved the dick into it. I posted it was on Verbank, I think, that I posted it for sale. And I made sure that the sale price was like higher than what I was like, would want to sell it for, because I didn't want it to sell. I just wanted it to be a joke. So I marked it up.
Yeah.
My first post on Instagram, if you scroll through the jillion posts on there, the very first post is that Charizard with the dick carved into the case. For the longest time, that was the only thing on there.
Well, at least you get to make new memories with a card now. You get to carve a new dick into a new Charizard sometime. So, But, yeah, I'm trying to think. There's a handful of stuff that I could just never get rid of. Like my original base set, growing up, just impossible. A lot of the stuff on the shelf, to be honest with you, because a lot of it's sentimental, Not all. I shouldn't say that. There's a lot of... yeah. It's hard to say. I'm happy I didn't throw away a lot of stuff when I was, growing up. That's my original, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 2. Yeah, that's mine. All
Is that the really hard one?
Yeah, no, that's the easy one. It's like the arcade one. The second one. The first one was tough, where you had to go through the water,
the sewer, and you had the 4 turtles, and most of them sucked.
Except for Donatello, you could beat the whole game with Donatello just by hiding behind walls.
Because he had so much range. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's all. This is all my
original
Golden Eye growing up.
You kept you reshrinked it.
Yeah.
A lot of the N64 games that I ended up with were from the video rental place that we rented from as kids.
Yes.
And they reshrink them, so I just never took them out of the reshrink.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
what just the box and whatever that's in the shrink wrap. The game is out separately.
We could do a GoldenEye box opening. How did I shrink
the
this?
package?
I really shrink this. Good. I must have double shrinked it.
Double shrinked it?
Was I drunk when I did this?
You're like, oh, let me just put another layer of shrink wrap on this bad boy.
So everybody will do a golden eye box opening for you.
Matt says, at Rattle, a card shop owner here in Cape Coral, Florida, was just arrested for stealing Pokemon cards at the local Walmart and then reselling at his store for almost double the cost. Oh my god. So he owned a game store. He was going to Walmart, stealing the product, and selling it in his own store. Oh my god, that's the ultimate scalp. That is like... Can you send me that? Hold on. Let me see if I can look it up.
For stealing Pokemon cards at the local Walmart and reselling at his store for almost double the cost.
Oh
wow. Well, technically it wasn't double the cost. They were free, so he was just making out like a bandit.
Yeah. Double free. Cape Coral, Florida game store, Walmart, Pokemon.
That's tomorrow's Rattle video right there.
Oh no, we have like... I'm taking the weekend off, but no more the weekend uploads. I was overdoing myself there too, but better video quality during the week. And there's we definitely got to get some basic videos out of the way. Some updates on that. I accidentally did some research while I was putting together my legal document.
Accidental research.
I had to stop myself from digging. I was like, no, you need to finish this before you do any more. You're just adding more work for yourself here.
Oh yeah.
But is there an article on it? Mop Dog says infinite return on investment. Hashtag nostalgianomics. Oh my god. Did you see the friggin' applesauce shit recently? He's on this kick where he's like obsessed with telling people that mystery products aren't a scam. They can't be a scam because Pokemon cards are random out of a pack. like he's gonna completely straw man argument the hell out of this shit and say like he's gonna say that all mystery products are equal. Anything with any randomization in it whatsoever should be treated equally. Basically, is his argument.
I could rant. Do you want me to rant for the next 2 hours
this is like,
on why mystery packs can be scams? I mean,
who do you trust more? The Pokemon Company with a random booster pack that could be going to anyone?
Yeah.
or the Omega mystery boxes that he's selling?
Yeah. It's like, I could be like, oh, you have a 1 out of 2 chance of pulling a mystery pack, and there's no, or a vintage pack, and there's no vintage packs in any of them. Wow, what a hot take he's had.
No, but like he's made, I don't know, mentioned to it like I don't know how many times, because he'll seek out like the 2 people that agree with him and make videos and like highlight. She's like, see, this person understands. It's mystery.
Are those people also selling mystery packs?
It's also a mystery of whether or not it's rigged.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Aaron says, we demand Booze News Friday comes back. Yeah, you do need to at least bring one Booze News back. Those were fun. Let's see.
Oh, I found it. Oh, he looks like he steals from Walmart and sells it in the store. In my opinion. The top comment is the entrepreneurial spirit. Oh good, that is priceless. Thank you very much for that, Matt.
Let me I know you don't really talk too much about like Pokemon Invest or anything, but I gotta ask you, like, strength of the market. Why do you think all this modern stuff is selling for so cheap? Do you think it's an oversupply by the Pokemon Company? Do you think that demand has dropped off so drastically? I mean, we're seeing crazy low prices.
I think it's the drop off, but I don't think it's necessarily on the Pokemon end that's the problem. I think it's more so on the people that are selling it. The people with like distributor accounts that are trying to keep their numbers up and struggling to do so. And by struggling to do so, they got to lower the prices. They compete with each other and they end up selling at a loss or selling at break even. There's just too many people selling this stuff because everyone wanted a distributor account to the point that they basically weren't accepting them anymore. They were all trained to like if you got to take as many as possible from a distributor, and now it's at the point where if you're not taking as much from the distributor, maybe the good product comes out next,
Yeah.
you don't get as much, that kind of thing. So like it's that whole battle or ecosystem that I think is kind of messed up from the drastic kind of reduction in like there's not like a limited supply compared to what the demand is now. And then collectors at the same time, collectors, whoever is into it is not like excited about it because it's not expensive. So maybe they're buying less.
But how long can you do that as
Economy
a
is bad, so people are buying less.
how long can you do that as a company though? Just sell product as a loss? Because yeah, when a good
Well,
product comes along like 151, do you make
mhm,
enough? Do you get big enough allocations to like
that's the thing.
justify your
And then like
losses?
people will be mad, like customers are gonna be mad. They'll be like, "What the hell? Like the specialty set's coming out, and you're charging more than MSRP on something that like they can make money on." So then they lower that, and it kind of like the stores are kind of eating themselves alive, basically, to the point that it's going to you're gonna have less stores, you're gonna have less online stores, you're gonna have less game stores because a lot of both of those like brick and mortar and online game stores kind of came up in the pandemic. I mean, we saw a huge fall off in a lot of it when there wasn't like free tendies anymore. It wasn't like, okay, I get a distributor account, I get product and I can sell it for double what I paid for it, like kind of thing.
Yeah. So
So,
Stacks asked which modern specifically. Yeah, any Scarlet and Violet main expansion. We're already into Scarlet and Violet 5. So Scarlet and Violet base you could go on eBay right now, $90. Um, Obsidian Flames is right around 90. Paldean Paldea Evolved I think is probably like around 100. Uh, I saw Paradox Riff yesterday selling for 81. And now Temple Forces is out, and Temple Forces is the new set. And usually the new sets right at release should do well, and it's selling around 100. And the reason why I say they're not doing good is because most people through distribution are probably picking up booster boxes between 92 to $96. So if you got a booster box selling for 81, you're losing a shit ton of money. But if you're got a booster box selling for 100, after your fees and shipping, you're still losing a ton of money. So that's what I'm talking
yeah.
about.
Or like yeah, or close to it.
And then
Because and then you have to take in consideration like if it gets lost or damaged or
yeah,
any of that stuff, overhead, like your own time to
chargebacks.
like process and ship this stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of stores that they're kind of battling it out, and I mean, it's going to be like a survival. And then a lot of the time is also a lot of these stores were just kind of their entire business model was pre-orders, and they don't necessarily have the means or capital to sit on a lot of this stuff, which you kind of need to. You might have to sit on a box. You might have to not sell as much at break even or loss, sit on some of it, wait for it to go up a little bit, wait for everyone else to sell off, and then when your box is 120, 150, $200 down the road, it might be a year, it might be a couple years before that happens, but it takes a lot of money to do that, and it's stagnant money that maybe you want to be spending that on the next set that comes out. Maybe you want to. So
Yeah,
it's tough, and it comes into a lot of like, I mean, a lot of the Broody videos kind of cover it. A lot of game store owners themselves just say like you need a lot of money to open a game store. You can't just like go in there, take some pre-orders and sell them. Like you need to be able to sit on stuff when it's a good idea. You need to be able to buy stuff when it's a good deal. Collections come in, whatever comes in. And also like diversifying in this stuff in terms of like collection buying and singles and all that other stuff. Or if you have a brick and mortar events and anything else that you can sell in store, all makes a big difference. Accessories and whatever you got to do.
yeah.
If you're not making money on the booster boxes, then kind of the only option.
I wish there was a way to end the pre-order like culture because it's every pre-order is in a way set up for it's it's set up for the potential of massive failure. Now, And why I say it's set up for the potential of massive failure, because if you ever do, I mean, I've seen a lot of pre-orders way before people get any sort of allocations, and like I don't have
Yeah,
distribution, and I
I
know,
disagree entirely with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't get allocation numbers 3 months ahead of time. You just don't. So,
Hmm.
and we're seeing it really happen a lot with One Piece. And I've seen
I was
some
just gonna
game
say that.
stores, they don't even offer refunds. They're just offering you to get other
Yeah, that's a
product there.
scam at
So
that point. Yeah.
what you're doing at that point is just giving interest-free loans to these game stores, and they're not even. I mean, what was it? The clutch cards, which that was only a couple minutes from my house, Rattle. I sent you that email or that message. I was like, "Do you want me to go do some recon for you?" You're like, "No, no, no. I'm still working it." Like, because you were real early on that clutch card situation, but I know you didn't put the video out for a couple days.
Yeah.
But like that's a perfect example where a company took a shit ton of pre-orders, and then they emailed all their client and was like, "Oh, hey, by the way, no refunds."
Yeah, that can also be a bad sign that the game store is going under, and then you're gonna have a hard time getting your money back. So that's why
So,
I'm saying, like, the people that are like out there buying from XYZ Gaming random Shopify website, like, make sure that you're paying, if it's got to be through PayPal or credit card or somewhere else, that like, if you're gonna risk it, know that you might have to spend a lot of time and effort trying to get your money back, and that you're actually paying in a way that you can get your money back easily. So if you can charge it back on your credit card or whatever else, if they decide that they're going to go under, if it's a fake business, if it was temporarily a real business and they're just trying to get as much money as possible because they're kind of throwing in the towel, it's
well, I don't think that, yeah, but I think out of all the situations, the worst possible situation is where people will pre-order with a game store, so they get their money, they get an interest-free loan for 3 4 months, and then when the game store actually gets the product, prices go up. They cancel
a
the
cancel.
pre-orders, and then the product that they get, they then charge 2 3x MSRP. I mean,
Mhm.
the reason why I mentioned One Piece is because this exact scenario is playing out. So
Yeah, it's
people,
usually one or the other, but like I'm sure that that's like the worst case scenario is the game store that's doing that.
yeah. So you give them a interest-free loan for 4 months on your money, and then
Hmm.
once they get the product, they're like, "Oh, cancel. By the way, you can now buy this product for 4x MSRP or 2x or whatever." Have you been
Yeah.
dabbling in One Piece at all?
No, I haven't. I still haven't watched it. It's on my like list of potentially maybe watch, but it's also I don't know how like probably 1,000 episodes or something crazy. So
I got a
maybe not.
couple One Piece booster
I don't
boxes.
know.
I haven't bought any of the new sets. These were the original. Like, I remember I bought my One Piece booster box like December 12th or whatever, 2021, and it was a blue bottom box and ended up being like a first print wave. Sold that shit real quick, but
Is it what? How much was it when you sold it?
like 1100 bucks I sold it for.
How much is it now?
Uh, I don't know, probably about the same.
Around that, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I sold all my sorcery too, which that was
Hmm.
great. Then I could have kept it for a little longer, made a bunch more money, but
Yeah. I don't. Man, people that are like people that are putting a lot of money into that stuff, like the risk is real. Not saying that it's going to just like fall off the face of the earth and they're never going to make another set again after the next one, but like the amount of dead card games that there are, the amount of games that like are sustainable, even the ones that are like semi-successful, the ones that stick around for more than like 5 years is just like it just drops off to basically nothing.
yeah, I mean,
So even like your Dragon Ball and stuff like that, like Supers, from what I've seen, has died down quite a bit. I never hear people talking about it anymore.
I got some random Dragon Ball over there too.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's the thing too. There's always going to be like some kind of like market for it. It might not, there might still be like collectors or whatever, but for it to be sustainable, I don't know. I see like the One Piece stuff doing kind of the same thing as the like a Dragon Ball Super.
I don't know.
They're
I
made
think,
by the same person, aren't they? Or the same company?
yeah, Bandai.
They're
but
both Bandai.
I think like the big thing about One Piece was
Wasn't
my big fear was that they were just gonna print One Piece to the ground. They're gonna go back and do reprints and just keep reprinting it until it just evaporated any secondary market price. But for as we stand right now, One Piece isn't doing that. Do
I
they
thought I
keep?
heard something about them doing that, but
Yeah, I think they're making a
I'm not like heavily engaged in.
yeah. So they're making a new set, which is supposed to be like imagine like base set two. So it's
Okay,
not
so it's like reprints, but they're different.
yeah
Is it different art or different?
of all the playable cards. So they're trying to get
Okay,
like they're trying to help the playability by
playable stuff.
putting out a base set two with just playable stuff, so the players can get cheap cards because you in a perfect world like in a vacuum, you
Hmm.
need the product to still have strong secondary market value, but you also need the players to have cheap cards and like to have both those things at the same time. It's very counterintuitive. Like it's tough to
Yeah,
navigate that,
I
but
mean, Pokemon does a pretty good job with that because
yeah,
there's like the minimum rarity, and then you have like the rare versions of the exact same cards
yeah,
within the same set, and then
and truly playable
oftentimes when something's
cards, Pokemon. Oh, you got a real playable card? Promo, black promo. This tin,
yeah, or
this
they'll be in
box.
like
It's
decks and whatever pre-constructed decks
yeah,
and building battle kits and all that stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Pokemon's good at stuff like that, and Pokemon's interesting that it has, like you mentioned, the rarity tiers. So if you want to go with the big blinged out full art trainer deck, you could do that. But if you just want like the non hollow common trainer, you want your Ultra Ball. What is that? A 14-cent card, 20-cent card, or whatever?
I mean, it's been printed in like a ton of sets now too, and you can
Ex-
use the older ones. So,
exactly. Or even like Boss's Orders. When Boss's Orders came out in Rebel Clash, super playable. But how many Boss's Orders have we seen after the fact in a bunch of different
mhm.
rarities to the point where if you need a playset of Boss's Orders, you're talking 80 cents for a playset, like 20 cents a card. So yeah, Pokemon does a great job of that. I don't.
Yeah, usually not necessarily right away. So there is like at least value in a product when you open it and it's new, which
Yeah,
is important because if you have anyone that's opening a lot of product, I've opened a lot of product before, and it helps a ton that there's like playable trainers. Oftentimes, if they're new, if it's the first time this has ever been printed, stuff like that, or if it hasn't been printed in a really long time, a lot of the like playable Pokemon and stuff like that, like people can pay a premium. It's usually not that steep if it's like base rarity version of stuff.
well,
Marnie was pretty bad. Marnie was like, and I think it was only like $10 a Marnie, but you
for,
wanted like four Marnies
yeah. Well,
in Sword and Shield
the
base.
base, yeah.
There was like the Hollow Marnie. That was the only Marnie option, and everyone wanted four Marnies for their deck.
And then, but then they put out the Marty milk carton,
But
and
then they
then
put out, yeah,
you get the Marty,
the
but
Marnie
then you
Milk
got
carton
the
was
other
quite a bit
three
later,
Marnies too.
but there was like non-hollow Marnies in like the build and battle kits. There was like some of the decks had Marnies in them, so and that kind of makes those decks more appealing too because if a player, even if they aren't going to play with all of the cards in that deck, there's still a lot of playable stuff in it that they can buy the deck for $20 or whatever and break it apart, take what they need.
What was Marty's ability? It was just shuffle your hand and redraw seven cards,
Yeah, it was
right?
like card draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you shuffle your hand onto the bottom of your deck and pull from the top.
Okay.
Draw six from the top,
And
I think.
your opponent had to shuffle their hand too, right? So that was
Yeah, so there was also like hand disruption is can be involved where maybe your opponent like has something in their hand ready to play next turn. You can kind of disrupt their hand, or there's
just
certain
Marty
cards that
it.
will like put less cards in their hand, depending on if they have a giant hand, and depending on what deck they're playing, that might be to their advantage. You can
Yeah.
kind of bring them back down.
Well, when you think about play, I mean, Sword and Shield did a great job of like introducing good playability because you had that Marnie came out in Sword and Shield base, and then the set after we mentioned it was Boss's Orders, and Boss's Order just allowed you to replace your opponent's starting
Hmm.
Pokemon with a Pokemon from the bench. So you had two sets back to back that had two extremely playable cards that were part of the TCG meta for pretty much the entire block. I mean, even still today,
Hmm.
like Boss's Orders and stuff. It just they had the newest Boss's Orders was Obsidian Flames, right? With the blade.
Yeah, so they started doing a thing. So instead of like reprinting like Juniper, like Professor Juniper, they would do like just a professor's research, and then they would have all the different characters on it. But all the cards played the same. They all count as the same card, even if
Yep.
it's got a different character on it. So, in was it in the base set? I think it was in Sword and Shield base. There was the uh, professor's research. What's her name? The old lady. I
Opal,
forget her name.
Opal, Opal,
No, not
OPAL.
Opal.
Uh, Sword and Shield base.
Yeah, the old lady professor.
Oh,
Chad will tell us.
oh, Professor Sycamore? No, did I make that up? I made that up.
No, Sycamore was the same thing though. There used to be a Professor Sycamore that was the same as the Professor Juniper. Juniper. You can't play either of those cards in standard anymore, even though they do the same thing as a Professor's Research. So that's why
Gotcha.
they kind of made it one card. They can continuously print like Professor's Research, and it'll it'll still be valid to use the older ones.
See, there's people out there watching this video right now, Rattle. And they're like, I didn't know
I
PK
don't know
knew
what the hell
anything. I didn't know PK knew anything
what the hell
about
are
the
these guys
fucking
talking about.
TCG. I thought PK just talked out
That's
of his
driving
ass
me
all the time,
nuts.
which is only 95% of the time.
Research. Sword Shield Base. What is her name? Is this it? It is Magnolia.
Magnolia.
Damn it.
Namp90 had it too in the chat.
Yeah, Namp just got it. Opal was the old lady. Yeah, Opal was the old lady gym leader. Magnolia was the prof research prof. Yeah, it's Magnolia.
So,
But then we've had a couple prof researches since then. We had a Juniper from the milk carton.
so we're what into March? We're already call it a quarter of the way through 2024, which is wild when you think about it. 2024 flew
Time
by.
flies.
But do you have any plans for any events this year? I know you got everything going on with the legal stuff, but any plans or maybe probably
Um,
push it off to
what
2024
the
maybe?
we'll have to figure out all the legal stuff first. Take care of that. But I would very much like to still go to Hawaii
Mm.
if it's possible
Would it be a
for
solo
the
dolo trip or
worlds.
a family trip? Solo trip?
Probably just solo trip. Probably solo trip it.
What about old
Don't know.
Blasty? Can we
Blasty? Oh no, we gotta bring Blasty. He
oh,
says he's not coming, but I'll we'll find a way to force him to come. Same with Miles.
so I got plans for Jersey and then if I could swing it Collecticon or uh Charlotte. The only problem is Jersey and Charlotte are like 2 weeks separated. So
Oh, they're like right back to back.
yeah, my wife already kind of shot down Charlotte. Like I brought it up to her, so I'm gonna have to do some smoozing. You know, tell her be like, hey, I could sell these cards. But Jersey's like a 2 hour drive from my house, so I'm just gonna drive it.
Oh yeah, that'll be easy.
Yeah, so that's an easy one. But Charlotte involves
About
like a
the
plane and a
16 hours or
hotel.
whatever you guys drove last time.
Fuck that! I'll never do that again.
No, don't do that. Oh god, that would have been painful. My flights are terrible from here to anywhere, so I can imagine like
Are there such a thing as nonstop flights from Canada to Charlotte?
I mean there would be if I was in Toronto, probably. But I gotta like fly to Toronto and then I gotta fly to wherever else, and then I'm lucky if it's just one connection. It might be two, depending
Yeah,
on what
but
it is, where it is,
no. If
and
anybody's
what time of day.
if anybody's out there watching this video and you're trying to figure out is there a collecticon you want to go to this year, I'd say go to Jersey because I'll be there. But Jersey's it's like Edison, New Jersey. It's the shithole of shitholes. At least that's what CTR told me. So I don't know if anybody's gonna. It's probably gonna be literally the worst of all the locations. But I think a lot of people are
They
gonna
probably
show
just
up
don't
to
have
it.
very many like spray tan places or something.
Yeah, a lot of fist pumping going on. Oh, my wife
Not
watches.
enough laundromats.
My wife watches Jersey Shore. It's like I don't even know what it's called now, like Jersey Shore Family Reunion or something. She loves just garbage TV. I mean, just bottom of the barrel. Like, you ever seen,
Yeah.
it's like My 600 Pound Life? Oh, she watches that show. She watches. I ask her all the time, like, why do you watch this just straight garbage? And she's just like, I love it. And I'm just like, oh,
I can't do it on a regular basis. If I'm like visiting family or something, we'll watch like Bar Rescue or something. It's like trash TV, but like
John
I
Taffer.
don't know.
Yeah,
Just like
John.
that's the reason to watch TV. It's just like you're sitting around hanging out and throw on the John Tafford friggin'
Yeah,
Bar Rescue. He's screaming at people. It's the same thing every time.
every time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're always touching the chicken and then touching other things, and he flips out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. I remember Bar Rescue because of Spike TV. Like, Spike TV for a while had some good shows on it. There was like a, I don't even know what it was. It was like a Japanese game show, but it was like poorly voiced over by English
MXC. Yeah.
voices. Yeah, what was it? It was like
MXC.
MXC, yeah. And they would like voice over all the Japanese people doing stuff, and it would be like super inappropriate, and then they were just getting messed up. It was like a Ultimate Gladiators, not even like a Ninja Warrior type thing, and they would just
Yeah,
get
like
messed up
Ninja
all the
Warrior
time.
thing. It's like an actual show in Japan, and then they just kind of stole it and dubbed over it or whatever.
Yeah, that was a good show, dude. But yeah, my wife loves just junk, just the
Oh my
junkiest
god,
of
some of that
junk.
stuff is just.
Yeah,
And
it,
I know what you're talking about.
I,
It's
I say to her all the
there's a whole
time.
category. Like I try not to watch any of like the hoarder stuff too. Like
Oh,
sometimes every now and then you just need
I catch it. Yeah, I
you
gotta
need
take
you need a
gotta take a
hoarder
shower
episode. You
after.
need some like dead rats and stuff to
Yeah.
motivate you to clean or something.
I I've watched My 600 Pound Life probably like 6 times, like because she'll be watching it and I'll like hop in, and every single time these like they're I mean we're talking these people are
Is
massive,
it
like they
like
can
the two
barely
women,
walk.
like Tammy and whatever her name is?
Yeah, and they'll go up to the doctor and the doctor will be like, you gained 21 pounds, and they're like, all I've been eating is salad and chicken, and the doctor looks at him and he's like, with your weight, that is physically impossible that you are not eating. Like, and then they show what they're eating, and it's
And
like a,
she turns away and she's
yeah,
got the spray cheese in her
it's
mouth or
like an entire.
something.
They
Like
eat entire pizzas to their face. Like, ah, but you got
it's
to
a
take a.
chicken pizza though.
I can't watch a lot of that shit because you literally have to go take a shower afterwards. Like, you just feel dirty, and they'll like roll up shit, and yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Fresh Tax says, "Does PK's wife know Big Ed?" I don't even know what that means. If that's a My 600 Pound Life or that's like a sexual comment.
I
Um,
feel I would much rather watch that than something like the like housewives, like rich, like
oh, like
I don't know.
what is it? Yeah,
I don't know what the shows
Mafia
are, but
Wives or whatever. Yeah, or Real
I try to
Housewives. Yeah,
yeah.
I can honestly say I've never watched
Or
an
the like
episode of that.
relationship drama and stuff where they're like
Dude, there was a while.
husband like from six different baby daddies and
Yeah,
screaming at each other and this so and so doesn't pay attention to me. It's like just to keep me away from all of that stuff as much as possible.
yeah. The only thing that me and my wife will watch together, like that's on TLC, is I don't know if you ever seen Flip or Flop, and it's like, is this house a flip or a flop? And it's just like they go in and they buy these shitty rundown houses,
Oh yeah.
and then like, but they're always in California, and it's like a two bath, 3 bedroom house. The roof is caving in. There's structural damage, and it's like $600,000 house because it's in some crazy place in like Los Angeles. And it's just like what's going on? But
Who let that happen?
yeah. So
Who
we'll
didn't
watch.
sell it before the roof all the way caved in?
Yeah. So we'll watch some Flip or Flop. I think that's a good one. But
I
then
watched a
there's
few of those in my day.
there's like other shows too where people are like looking to buy houses, and they'll have two people and it'll be like, what do you do for a living? And the one guy will be like, I'm unemployed, and his wife will be like, I work for a nonprofit. Well, what's your budget? Our budget is $2.7 million, and it's like,
Yeah.
wait. What?
Yeah.
You just said
I
you're
work at the grocery
unemployed,
store down the road.
and your wife works for a
And like,
nonprofit. How
yeah.
much is your budget? It's like 2.7 million. I don't know.
We're only looking for something with a water slide.
Yeah. Like an underground cave. Is that a thing?
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like it's probably a lot of it is just staged or fake, like
It's
the
gotta be.
like the Pimp My Ride stuff. Have you ever seen like the any of the stuff that's come out on Pimp My Ride where it was all faked and like they took the car and sometimes they replaced the car entirely because they didn't want to do any engine work or anything on it. They
Yeah.
took a lot of like monitors and stuff like that. They like took them back out of the car after they gave it to them.
There's
And
some
like
there's some really good YouTube videos where they talk about Pimp My Ride and they do like breakdowns and they interview
yeah.
some of the old guests, and one of them, the ladies,
Yeah.
is like, I one time mentioned that I like cotton candy, and they put a cotton candy machine under my car. She's like, I can't access this thing, you know? Or there'll be like cameras and like screens under the car, just ridiculous shit.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah. Number one mod in the game said "Fake My Ride." Yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah. It was entertaining. I watched the hell out of that when it was a thing.
Uh, Wild.
Never did I want a cotton candy machine in my car, but or a bunch of the stuff that they added next to the Z exhibit, for exhibit. Yeah, they were showing like they faked the intros, like that they had already showed up beforehand, like pretend that we weren't here yet, and I mean a lot of that stuff, like the storage wars and all that stuff, is just so fake.
Yeah. All this, yeah, all that stuff is fake. I mean, I I've always like had cynical thoughts. I was like, what if I just make a YouTube channel that's just fake Pokemon openings? Because it would be so easy. It's just like every day you open up product and you pull the chase. People would just eat that shit up. That probably would have popped off
Mhm.
in like 2020, or even all the like fake TikTok stuff, and I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of the stuff that I've opened that I should probably cut it down and make it into like TikTok doesn't pay you if you're Canadian, which is fun, but
It's because the
I
Chinese
don't know.
government doesn't like Canada.
I don't know what the rules or regulations or there is behind it, but there's like insanely large TikTok creators in Canada that don't make any money. They're not allowed to make any money from TikTok directly. So I'm sure they have like deals where they have sponsors or whatever that either take that into consideration or want sponsored content, but it's wild that they get paid zero no matter how many views they get.
That is wild.
Although maybe that'll be, weren't they supposed to ban it in the States or something?
Yeah, it's going through the House of legislation and stuff, but well, I think Supreme Court will probably knock it down. Like, I don't think you could.
They have like a whole U.S. division or whatever now, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I think.
TikTok's huge, but I don't know if you heard James from Z&G Emporium. He talked about making TikTok videos, and he just like put a bunch of videos out there to see if maybe it could hurt or help his consignment business, and he put out like 8 videos, and then he has like millions of views on these TikToks
What? They
shorts.
just popped off?
Yep.
Nice.
But he said not there was zero like trickle effect to his actual business.
Oh, they had like a link that he could track whether or not it was taken from there
Well,
or
he kept
something.
asking people like, "How did you hear about me?" And no one said TikTok.
None of it was TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's probably not very much of it that would like come through. That it's the same way even YouTube Shorts. Like you can get a bunch of subscribers by doing them, but like the amount of people that are going to watch your long form content that happen to see a short form thing that you did is probably pretty slim. Maybe,
It takes
although I don't know. Maybe if it was like if it was just like really crazy clips or something like that from videos that were actually relevant, maybe it would translate better. I guess it depends on what you're putting out and what your
dude,
what your main content or your long content is. Anytime I see anyone that's like, "Oh yeah, I have a jillion subscribers on TikTok," they're like, "Oh fuck, I wish I had a fraction of that on YouTube because it's not worth it."
yeah. Dude, there's a lot of people that I don't I mean, the hardest content you can make is literally what we're doing right now. The long form content, the like attention spans are just so low right now.
Yeah,
I think,
I don't know, but also at the same time, it pays them the most.
yeah,
I mean, it has the potential for like several ads to be put in it. If people have YouTube Premium, that pays based on their watch duration, I believe.
yeah. No, I mean, I definitely have shorts where it's like 60 cents, and that's like a good
Yeah.
short. Like,
No, no, no. I have like a short with like I don't know how many views. It has like 100,000 views on it or something like that, and it's like 6 cents.
yeah, people are saying they have YouTube Premium, so never get ads. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're watching YouTube like all day every day, and you want to support the people that you're watching, I'm not gonna like shill YouTube Premium, but it's a good way to do so. If you want to support like all around anything and everything that you watch, channel memberships, YouTube takes 30% of those anyway,
Yeah.
or like any of the super chats and stuff like that.
I'm not doing YouTube for money. Like, that's. If I want to do YouTube for money, I wouldn't be making 2 hour lives where I'm
Even
just.
if you do YouTube for money, most of your money is not going to be from YouTube.
No.
Spoiler.
It's a big spoiler.
It's not. It's not. It's not. It's going to be like promotion and all that other stuff,
Uh,
sponsors and.
yeah, so people are asking how many packs was it Rattle for you to open the boom round again? I think it was
It
2,700.
was 3,711, I believe.
3,711. Wow.
So it was 100 booster boxes. Over 100 booster boxes.
Now just imagine if you could go back in time and have 100 booster boxes of Evolving Skies. You are
I mean, they weren't from booster boxes though.
true.
Well, some of them were, but the vast majority of it was broken down product.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's a lot.
no, it was definitely a lot. There was a lot of work to break down the product. It was very inexpensive at the end of the day, but it was if you don't take into consideration how much time and effort I took breaking this stuff down, selling extra packs, the Brilliant Stars, that just insane amount of extra Brilliant Stars packs that I had from all of the stuff that I broke down.
Do you still have any of those packs, or you kind of moved them all out?
Uh, I have very little, if I have any. Loose packs are brilliant.
What would you? So when you were opening your Moonbreon, I know it. I think if I remember correctly, you only had like 50 packs remaining, right? Or something
There
like
was,
that.
yeah, there
What
wasn't much left in that final stream.
what
I ended up opening
happens?
those anyway.
What
I opened them
happens?
anyway.
What happens if you don't pull it though?
If
Like
I don't pull it, then I would have had to keep going,
you would have kept going.
right? Yeah.
While
I
like
didn't want to. I didn't think it would ever take that many packs, but
yeah.
Stack says imagine just buying it as a single. Yeah, that would have been it wouldn't have been good content, but it would have been better. It would have been less effort. Because any like I don't know, it was the pack cost on it's hard to say exactly because like I sold off everything everything was pretty much duplicates for the majority of that. So I sold off a lot of the extra cards, which were reasonably valuable at the time. They probably have fallen off since then. Maybe some of it will pull back up over time. But yeah, like after taking into consideration selling the Brilliant Stars, selling whatever other packs were within the products that I broke down, they were very inexpensive packs. Not that there wasn't cost involved, but
Chat, let me know if the live is lagging a little bit for you. When it comes to drop frames on your OBS, what's like a decent percentage you want to be at, Rattle?
I don't. I think mine's always 0.
No. Yeah, mine's pretty high. This is like
It's
10.5%.
probably fine. It's not like we're not like playing video games or anything either. So
Okay.
as long as the audio is all coming through and the video is half decent, I haven't seen anyone complaining about it. So
All right. I want to keep going for a little bit longer, so I'm gonna let you take over the chat. I gotta go take a piss, and then I got a
all
plan
right,
when I got back. So
chat, give me some comments and questions. IDK says you had so many live viewers when you did those lives, Rattle. I was watching. Yeah, it was a battle. I was very concerned that it just was never gonna happen because, I mean, the odds don't get any better for each additional opening. Like just because I didn't hit it for a certain amount of time, the odds are still not good. It's very hard to pull. A lot of the Sword and Shield stuff, a lot of the Scarlet Violet stuff is just insane. Absolutely insane. The pull rates on any specific card, even the hyper rares from that stuff. I think it was still missing. I think it was still missing like 7 cards at the end, 5 or 7 cards at the end, which is insane based on like the amount that I open. But there's so many. There were so many alt arts, so many alt art Vs, so many alt art V maxes, so many hyper rares that a lot of it is just insane. I don't know if I had all the full arts or not. I might have.
what set are you
That's
talking
fine.
about?
Just like in general, like the Sword and Shield block, especially like late Sword and Shield, and Scarlet Violet. Just like the impossibility that is like pulling everything.
Oh yeah. Well,
I mean,
let
how
me.
they evolved is pretty much impossible to physically open.
So you opened a
Start
lot
to
of
finish.
modern. I'm just gonna go through all the sets, name the big hit, and tell me if
Yeah.
you pulled it. So, Sun and Moon base. Did you pull like any of the gold cards, like the Zacian or Zamazenta, or even the Marnie?
I don't think so. I think I only opened. I don't know if I might have opened one box on release.
Rebel
Sword and
Clash. You
Shield
pulled
base.
Rebel Clash Boss's Orders, or I mean, really, Rebel Clash didn't have that much.
Yeah, again, it might have been like one booster box that
I
I
mean,
opened at
Darkness
that point in
Ablaze, the
time.
VMAX Charizard.
I pulled the Charizard
You pulled the
first booster
Charizard.
box.
Vivid Voltage. You pulled a Hyper Rare Pikachu, the Chunkachu.
I didn't know. Blasty did in like 7 packs, and then I
Seven
traded,
packs and you pulled.
and then I traded him a bunch of sealed product for it, and he pulled nothing from them. I felt terrible, but
Battle Styles. You pulled a Sleepy T or the Urshifu.
Sleepy Tea I did
You
in
pulled?
a crappy Pokemon opening on
Oh,
the toilet. I pulled the Sleepy Tea.
that's nice. I never pulled it.
The
That's like
Urshifu I pulled, I think from one of the booster boxes, like near release. Now we're
chill,
getting into like when I started opening more.
chill and pain. You pull like call it either the Moltres, Articuno, or Blaziken.
Pulled the Articuno. Didn't pull the Blaziken. Purchased. Oh, Quackfam sent me the Blaziken, I think.
Oh, nice.
Quackfam sent me the Blaziken. And the moon chicken, the tower chicken, and the moon chicken.
And then obviously you
I
pulled
didn't
the
open the. I didn't open very much Chilling Rain. I don't think.
yeah.
I
Chilling
opened
Rain was a
some.
tough
That's
set.
another like very difficult to complete set if you were trying to open it start to finish. Like everything would be. It would be probably right up there with Evolving Skies, I would think.
Yeah.
Just off the top of my head.
What about Fusion Strike? You pulled Gengar VMAX
I pulled the Gengar twice.
twice. Oh wow, that's
I
a good
never
one.
pulled the. I never pulled the Mew. I pulled on release. My product was late.
What about the
I
Celebi?
bought an ETB locally, and I got the Espeon on the roof.
Nice.
The Celebi I pulled 2 or 3 times, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I pulled the Celebi on
Underrated
a.
card, but
I was well. I was trying to figure out if you could weigh out Fusion Strike packs, and I was weighing them, and one of my packs had 2 code cards in it, and it was super super heavy. So I opened it, and it had the Celebi in it. But and then obviously for Evolving Skies, you pulled the Moonbrown, but you never pulled the Rayquaza after 3,000
no.
plus packs.
Oh no! I did. I did at Rusty's
Oh, that's right. I wasn't there when
after
that
I
happened.
bought it. Did I buy
Oh,
it or trade for it? I think I bought it. I bought the Ray to
dude,
finish
how
the set.
can we?
And then I was at Rusty's, and Rusty was like, "Here, guys, here's some Evolving Skies packs, and they're also the busted ones that have crazy hits in them." And
Yeah.
I opened the freaking Rayquaza.
People will never understand that at Rusty's house there were 6 Moonbreons pulled that day.
Yeah,
6.
he
Like
had
that
the
is so many.
insane broken
Uh,
packs.
yeah, and then there was 6 Moonbreons, and I want to say 3 of the Rayquazas. You pulled one, Gem Mint pulled one, and I want to say that one more was pulled. Did Rusty pull one? No, maybe it was only 2 were pulled. 2 Rayquazas. All I pulled was the Duraludon hyper rare. That
There was
was
there was there was
that
hyper
was
rares
what
all
I
over the
pulled.
place though, because it was either like VMAX Altar
Yeah, no V's.
or like hyper rares.
Yep, no
Yeah,
V's, just hyper rares.
I mean the hyper rares would have been the VMAX too, so they're probably in like the same slot.
Yeah,
Same rarity slot as the alt arts, which is kind of crazy that no one really cares about the hyper rares, but they're probably just as rare as the alt arts.
and then all right. So
Oh,
after
Poke Kid saying yes, Rattle pulled it at Rusty's and now I own it. Yeah, I traded it to Poke Kid, my extra Rayquaza.
what did you trade it for?
I don't remember. It was part of a big trade, bunch of stuff.
Did you trade it
Probably
at Collecticon because he was there? Or did you trade it after the fact?
traded it after the fact. I sent it to him in a PWE. I don't know what it was. It was like $200 at the time or something like that. Put it in a semi-rigid PWE. Sent it to him. He was all concerned about it. I was like, nah, don't worry, it's fine.
All right, and then all right. So after Evolving Skies, what about Brilliant Stars? Did you pull the Charizard?
I did. I pulled multiple of them, and I need to contact the Pokemon Company again. I pulled them in back-to-back 3-pack blisters,
Wow.
which is insane. But the second one had or I don't know if it was the first or second one. It had like a big ass roller line across the back of it, like it got ran over by a shopping cart. Some scuffs and giant dent across the back. So I sent it to them, expecting like, hey, can you replace this, or can you send me like the value of it? And they're like, oh yeah, send it into us. Send it into them. Then they're like, oh yeah, so we're gonna send you like, I had to pester them like 100 times, which is crazy. Because at this point they were like just paying people out. Like they would, if you pestered them or told them enough, like, hey, just send me a PayPal payment. They'll be like, make sure this is your PayPal because we're only sending it once, kind of thing. And they just didn't send it. Didn't send it. We're like pushing it off. We're like, hey, is there any update on this? Nothing. And then they're like, okay, so we're gonna pay you out, but it's gonna be based on the value of a booster pack, and then like we'll give you some booster packs for the couple booster packs for the shipping that it cost you to send this to us. I was like, no, you can't open this in one booster pack.
Yeah.
Like that's not how this works.
Yeah.
Like I
So
want
what
the
did
card replaced
so
or
what
the
did they
value
ended
of it,
up
and then I
doing
told them
though?
to ship it
Like,
back to me, and they just haven't. So I don't know. I need to torment them again.
yeah, that would
Jay
be
apparently was threatening them with like Better Business Bureau or something like that, and apparently that was getting him somewhere. But it's insane to me that like someone pulls something expensive and it's like it's not like there's minor flaws on it. Like this thing looks like it was run over by a shopping cart, and it's the chase card from the set. Like just either have cards on hand to replace them or pay out the market value on it. Like
so
give
everybody in the chat, Namp90 just said his best pull he ever had was a Rainbow Zard from Burning Shadows, which is a card I never pulled. But everybody in the chat that's currently watching this, let me know in the chat what was your best pull you ever had. And if you write it, I will read it out loud. Because I think everybody, I mean, my best pull, this is the worst part of this story. My best pull I ever had was base set Zard when I was growing up, and I don't remember pulling it. Like I don't have like a
did
vivid.
you do you know for sure that you pulled it?
Yeah, Yeah,
You
cause
opened it?
yeah, it's graded. It's right there behind me. It's my
Is it
childhood
like,
one.
is it a 3?
It's a 4.
Nice.
Yeah, it's my childhood one. But I know for a fact I never like traded for a Zard and I never bought a Zard. So I pulled that, but I cannot tell you. Like I don't vividly remember it. Vividly remember opening my first ever pack because like just like the story behind that, but I don't remember like a lot, which is weird. I remember playing like this is my Pokemon League badge book. Like I remember going to Pokemon League.
Did you
Like
get all the badges?
no, I didn't. I own all the badges now because I bought the badges after the fact.
Oh,
But
cheater. Team Rocket.
but I stopped.
They got the
That's
stamps.
that's where I stopped. Yeah. So
Do you get something if you hit to the certain threshold there?
well, if you
There's like the gold star or whatever. You get something
yeah, if you get it all the
in the
way, and then
stamps.
there was like these things where you had the like you could do like the TMs, the technical machines. I didn't even finish all those, and then you could do like the certified coach. You get like a little sticker on the back of your book, but this was multiple weeks. Like you didn't get it was only
Yeah.
like one.
Do you get a
So
stamp for each match you play or something?
so you get 10 points for attending the league, 10 points for breaking like these are all the point systems, but for winning you only get 10 points and it wasn't a lot of stamps. Like it was tough to get badges. And then yeah, I never got them all. And then I ended up buying all the badges after the fact from Nick Old School Pokemon. So now I have them.
Does he have like a giant stash of them or something?
He bought them all from Rusty. So
Oh,
Rusty bought a preposterous amount of pins at one point. Like Rusty was like the biggest pin. I mean, probably one of the biggest pin collectors in the world by just accidentally. And then Nick Old School Pokemon traded him. It was like maybe I don't know how many it was, but it was like maybe an art set of base set first edition blister packs. So I mean, what's a first edition pack? A couple grand. So it was a
yeah.
couple. Or maybe it was only one. It was a lot
Well,
though.
if it's unweighed, then it's quite a bit.
Yeah, and I think he also part of the trade was maybe like a gold strip theme deck case. It was like thousands of dollars. Like I could might be butchering this, and then people are gonna be like,
I'm going to the
"What the
bathroom.
stories?"
Finish this and then hit the comments for their
Yeah.
polls. There's some good ones in there.
Okay.
But yeah, like man, the pins. I have a ton of pins and coins. I am buried in coins. I don't even know what to do with them. Maybe
Oh,
that's a
there's so
tile
many
of room or
coins.
something
Yep.
with resin.
Um. So Namp said the his best poll ever was the Rainbow Zard. Uh, let's see. Mick Nick said he pulled the Tina, or sorry, I said Tina. He pulled the Garantina from Lost Origin, came out early, his top pull, and hasn't pulled anything on that level since. Yeah, so when I pulled the Garantina, I was on a private chat with Blasty and Rattle. I bought one booster bundle of Lost Origin. I opened it up. My first ever Lost Origin pack. I had never opened another. I've never opened a Lost Origin pack before that point. I opened it up and I felt the texture of the card. And I was like, oh, okay, I got a hit. And I had penny sleeves. I penny sleeved it and then I did the card trick. And then as I pulled that card, Blasty's like, PK, did you just repack this pack because obviously there's a Garantina and it was in a penny sleeve because like I felt the texture of it. My face, Rattle was there. My face dropped. It's still to this day like it was literally my first ever pack of Lost Origins that I pulled the hit in front of both Rattle and Blasty. No way you can believe it. So then I had to, after I was already accused by Rattle and Blasty for repacking it, I then had to take that card and repack it into a Lost Origins pack and then make a short out of it because I was like, if I'm going to pull this card, got to pull it on camera. So then I repacked it into a pack and then I opened it on a short. So that's how you know it's truth.
No one believed you the first time. No one believed you the second
Nobody believed
time.
me the second time, too. But the first time was
I
real. The
mean, like
second time
usually,
wasn't.
anytime you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna open a pack of cards," and it just says like "Rattle sucks" or something on the last one.
Yeah. Which is an inside joke, which I should stop doing that because I don't realize that like that video will get 1,000 or 2,000 views and only like 500 people get the joke. The rest of the people they don't get the joke of like
I have
why
yet to
it's
say like,
like
"Oh yeah, PK hates you."
yeah, I'm just like, okay, maybe a million people aren't in the Rattle Happy Hour chat, so they don't understand that this is an inside joke that's been running for literally years at this point now. So,
Mm.
uh, Pokey Mage 87 said his best pull was a Moonbryon from a Mimikyu EX box. I,
Ooh, that's a good box.
yeah, that's a good box.
It paid for itself.
Uh, so Oreo Cakester said he pulled the Sylveon VMAX alt from Evolving Skies. Nice.
Nice.
Kajito, I hope I'm saying that name right. Kaedjo. Shiny Groudon SL from Call of Legends. I like all the SLs.
Yeah, that's those are nice.
Tommy said CTR pulled the Blaziken Altar, also pulled the Rainbow Rare. Wild, yeah. So finally CTR pulled the Blaziken.
The Blaziken Hyper End.
Yeah,
All there.
good for Ryan.
Impressive. Yeah, the Chilling Reign is just as painful as Evolving Skies in terms of like pulling any individual card. It can just not happen forever.
Dribzor said, I pulled the Unlimited Charizard base set when he was in 4th grade. Also pulled the Altart Mew from a Fusion Strike, yeah. See, it's good that he can remember pulling the base set Charizard. I'm mad I don't remember pulling it. I don't
I can't
remember.
believe you opened that from a pack and you were like, "Oh,
And as I think about it, I don't really remember pulling any cards from pack. The only thing I vividly remember is as a kid wanting a Raichu. So because Raichu was my chase, I
you
wanted to
probably
get
would have
it.
traded the Charizard for a Raichu."
Well, I think I tried at one point, but I remember wanting a Zap theme deck because I was like, if I get a Zap theme deck, I'm gonna get a Raichu, and then finding out that the Zap theme deck, it wasn't the Raichu Hollow, that it was the Mewtwo Hollow in the Zap theme deck, but always thought it was the Raichu. So when I got that, I vividly remember getting a Zap theme deck, like, and they were always sold out too. You could get 2-player starter decks, but you couldn't get the Zap theme decks. And I remember opening it and being a Mewtwo and being so like disgustingly disappointed in that. But the future came full circle on that Mewtwo. Not that one in particular, but I ended up pulling this base set Mewtwo from the Leonhardt pop-up shop. Ended up grading a 10. Shout
What's it
out to
say on the
Basic
back?
Trainer and Rock Pokemon.
I was gonna say I was hoping that Basic was in the comment section or in the chat here saying that the Charizard that he pulled at the event,
Yeah.
the only legitimate Charizard that he pulled at the event.
Fresh Tat says my desk has everything. Do you ever watch my videos where I'm just pulling shit
Against
from my desk?
against all odds with all the weight backs
Yeah.
allegedly from the event.
Oh well, this card, I thought that maybe they were all weighed packs, and this came out of a blister. So that blister.
Oh yeah.
So this.
Probably a lot of the loose packs might have been.
So this blister right here was
that's
where this card
obviously
came from.
resealed.
So I've always been in the belief that you cannot weigh blisters. A lot of people say you can't. Listen, I'm just gonna go to my grave saying you can't.
It's probably significantly more difficult.
Yeah. So I didn't feel.
I mean, first of all, you don't have like the 12 that you can pull out of a box. You don't have the comparison, and then also like the extra weight that's on there, the variable of the glue and the plastic and the cardboard, and
I should try to cross over this Mewtwo and see if I could send it to Beckett. Can you imagine?
for a black label.
Yeah.
And the only way you get black labels at Beckett is if you walk in yourself on a weekend
I heard you got to S off.
and grade it yourself. No, you gotta grade it yourself. You gotta ask the one Pokemon guy to scooch over so you can do it.
All right. So Mick Nick says, all time he opened up the Latios EX from Dragon Frontiers, got the pack at a local toy store. The most, not his most valuable, but most special. Very cool. Oh, jump to the bottom.
Tommy, appreciate the advice of going live alone for the Moonbreon poll. Sometimes I like to have Billy around, but she can be bad luck.
All right, where am I right now? I don't want to skip any of these. Tommy said Rusty's man, yeah. Matt pulled the Altar Espeon VMAX from Fusion Strike. Wait, yeah, awesome. Tommy said he was in Rattles live when he pulled the Moonbreon, was epic. Rattles the man, yeah. So when you pulled that Moonbreon in your live, I've never seen a live chat do what it did. It was just like, it was
That went
unreadable.
crazy.
It was a
Yeah.
blur. Let's see. Number one mod in the game, Drew, he says he remembers pulling the base set Zard. Yeah. Mick Nick said he pulled the Shouting Zard on his first ETB. That felt good.
We had a friend across the street that pulled or he didn't pull it. His parents bought him a Charizard for like his birthday or something. I think it was like $50 at the time for the unlimited one.
Really?
And he had it like in a case. He didn't like bring it out anywhere. They're like, no, you're not allowed to take it anywhere with you. It's got to stay at home, which is probably for the best. You don't want to be like lugging around this Charizard on the playground. But I think it was in like a screw down case or something. So probably also still in good shape.
I love a good
If it didn't
screw
get
down
taken out.
case. I got a screw down case back there just for.
It didn't say rookie on it, which would have made it better, but the gold rookie stamp on some of the tough loaders. And
Namp90 said he pulled a base set Raichu in his first ever Pokemon pack he ever opened, became his favorite Pokemon after that.
oh my god.
Good Pokemon to become your favorite, Namp. Tommy said he traded a Charizard first edition for a Mewtwo when he was 7 years old in the park in South Philadelphia in the year 2000. As a 31-year-old man, I'm sick about it. I'm going to take your word for it, but I feel like everyone always says they had a first edition Charizard as a kid, but it's usually not true. But Tommy, I'm going to take your word for it, buddy.
And would there have been first edition base in Philadelphia?
Probably not. It would have been Shadowless,
And
ideally, for East Coast. Because none of the first edition shit made
Shadowless
it over.
would have been, it would have been, or unlimited.
But who knows where he could have got the pack from. Because I grew up on the East Coast. I only ever had Shadowless. Never saw first edition.
And we never saw Shadowless whatsoever. It was hard to find like base unlimited when it came out here. We were lucky to get like a pack. Like, oh, it's in stock and we get a pack. We're so lucky.
Yeah.
That was like allowance or whatever.
Do you have like a favorite set, favorite like rarity or
old set?
What is it?
Favorite like old set, like vintage
just
set?
a favorite set in general. Just it doesn't have to be old. It could be modern.
I don't know. I kind of have like different favorite sets, like depending on the era, I guess.
All right.
Like Gym Challenge is probably my favorite WotC set.
Really? Did you open Gym Challenge as a kid?
Like e-reader kind of. Yes. I kind of stopped. We kind of stopped in around the Neo stuff. We might have barely seen the Neo stuff, and we stopped. Gym Challenge? Yeah, that was the first thing that I completed when I got back into Pokemon.
See,
I completed the first edition Gym Challenge.
I bet people have looked at my background for 100 videos and they didn't know there's a Gym Challenge first edition box.
I mean, Gym Heroes is good too, but I don't know. I just like I really like the trainer Pokemon kind of concept. So that was like the first thing that I kind of started to finish. At least the first edition one. I'm still missing cards from the Unlimited.
Yeah, I'm just curious if there was people never knew there was a gym challenge booster box back there, even though it's empty, but whatever. But so gym challenge for Watsy. What about? Do you have like a EX set that you like a Nintendo timeline?
Uh, yeah, I like a lot of the early like Sandstorm.
Oh yeah, I love me some sand. I love
Sandstorm is, I
Evolution.
think
So
Sandstorm is like
Sandstorm's Evolution set.
underrated. The early stuff is pretty underrated. I mean, there's the obvious like Team Rocket Returns is pretty sick.
Yeah, but
Any of the Gold Star stuff.
but even with Sandstorm, like the Aerodactyl, I love the Aerodactyl. I got an Aerodactyl.
So the Sandstorm Aerodactyl box.
It's just a box.
You just have it memorized?
No, I don't think I'll be able to find it that easy.
Oh, it's buried in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the I mean the old EXs are pretty cool. There's a lot of that stuff that's like it has a certain charm to it. Like people are like, "What the hell is this?" Like if you look at like the EX like Magma Aqua, like people are like, "What the hell is this fucking 3D art? Like that looks like shit." But it's you got to keep in mind that that was computer graphics back then. That was state of the art Aerodactyl right there.
Yeah. Oh God, that's some glare on that if I've ever seen it. Hold on.
I just destroyed the
Beautiful
pretty
artwork. I love
pretty,
like the green to it. You know.
pretty cool.
Very cool indeed. Let's see. What else did we were talking about earlier? See if I have any.
I really like level X's. I kind of I've always liked the I don't know the like style on them.
Little fire
Ooh, the Moltres.
from. You said Team Rocket Returns.
What was it Team Rocket Returns? The Moltres.
Oh, just go through this box right there.
We got the Stampies.
Little sequential PSA 10s right there. Let's see what we got. Try to pull out some cool cards.
Caldor turned into Target. We always went to like a local game store. Typically.
Hypno eating the dreams from Aquapolis. I talked about this card literally like yesterday.
It's a good one. Creepy one.
Shout out to CTR's
Celebi.
first ever chase.
Did you pull that?
Yeah, I did.
That you pulled the Celebi and the Mimic?
Yep.
Did you pull
The Mimikyu I bought. I didn't pull. I didn't.
Did you buy multiple or just one and done?
One and
That's
done.
a good one. That's one of my favorite modern cards.
No, this is one of my favorite modern cards right there. That and
TV Mimikyu, and also the Superior.
That's one of my
with
favorite
the
modern.
in the background. Oh, the Sleepy Chew.
Let's see what I got. A bunch of jungle. Ooh, okay, ready? Little Secret Wonders rattle. See that little stamp right there?
Comic-Con stamp?
Comic-Con shallows. Little Noble Victories. Secret Rare Meowth. What else we got? Oh, gotta love this card. Expedition Mew. What do we guess? Expedition Alakazam.
I think I'm still missing a bunch of missing a bunch of like the E-Series hollows. Missing quite a few like Expedition and Aquapolis reverses, I think.
Oh, reverses.
Early Nintendo like reverses are such a pain to pick up.
Yeah.
They're always very scratched, very curled, very ding-donged and dented.
Always got this right back there, just in case, you know.
Oh, yeah. What number is that?
Unlucky 13. Thanks a lot. I wanted 69. Hold on, I got this one too.
Sucks
This
to
is the
suck.
newest piece of the collection.
Oh yes, the sticker.
So who made this? Because I didn't realize that Jesse was holding Sapporos.
So I had it commissioned.
Hmm.
There was never any like T-shirt or clothing or anything with that on it. Just the stickers.
How many
Same
of
with
these did you end up sending out?
same with the beer nurse
Oh yeah.
on the shirt, and the beer police from the previous sticker and T-shirt, which I'm not wearing. How many? There's 100 of each sticker. Well,
So
there's 100, but there was like they usually send a few extras because they probably run a few extras off just to make sure if there's any that are damaged.
so Mick Nick. So first of all, everyone said everything within arm's reach, and then Mick Nick said PK flash that Absol Prime.
Absol Prime. Primes, I feel like primes are less good in level X's. I've always kind of had that feel for them.
I don't know if they were challenging me now, Rattle, but here you go. There's an Absol Prime. It's only in a 9 though. Sorry, it's
Was it
not a 10.
was it Mick that said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably just knew it was nearby.
How? How could he know that? Well, you got.
Have you shown it recently?
I can't even. I mean, number one mod in the game can let you know, but I don't remember the last time I flashed that card. It's got to be months ago.
Nick's got a notepad right here. He's just like, I know what's got it all like located there.
Yeah.
He knows what's in arm's reach.
Number one mod in the game said EX Dragon. Yeah.
Oh, do you have it listed on eBay?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, no, he has it on his watch list. That's why.
Oh, here, why don't you, Nick, slide into my DMs, man. Cash is king.
Nick.
Come on, let's I don't know.
Take it off eBay,
That could
but
be
don't
your
DM
card.
him that on eBay.
Anybody want to look at my eBay? Feel free to slide into my DMs.
Tell me you want to use your code Rattle5.
Yeah, use Rattle5 at checkout. See, Thrifty. I want Thrifty to challenge me. Thrifty, tell me a card, see if I can pull it out. I'll be able to pull out a variant.
Thrifty knows what you have around you.
Thrifty's never visited. She visited Jake, from Jake Pokenomics.
Yeah, but she's probably seen enough PK content to know what you have hanging around.
Yeah. But, no, Thrifty, she's a good one. She, for the Riga signing at the Hartford Regional, she was there, and I just missed her because I had literally, like, the last possible signing, so I wasn't able to see her. Thrifty said tap in McNick.
You definitely have a Chinese Pikachu next to you.
I got a whole box of Chinese Pikachus.
We want to go with safe bets. Chinese Pikachus.
How many I mean, this whole box, that's all this is. It's just a million of them. Yeah. Literally just this box is Chinese.
It just says Chinese on it.
It's just... and then this box... it just says Pikachu. I'm sure there's some Chinese Pikachus in here, too. So... Alright, Chinese Pikachus. Alright. So for the Chinese Pikachus, this is how many we got.
So, it's quite a few.
Quite a few.
I thought you had more than that, though.
I sold through a lot of them, though. Luckily.
Did you lose your ass on them?
No.
Did
They
good?
just I don't lose
Were
my
they
ass
all
on anything.
10s?
They just sell slowly. And then
Driptor wants to see a
I,
first edition Blastoise base set.
Blastoise first edition base set. Uh, how about just unlimited Blastoise? I don't have a first edition within arm's reach, but this was close.
I'm gonna beat you at your own game.
Oh, touche.
I had the binder right there.
Okay. Uh, would you like to see some Raichus? Because I got all the Raichus.
Yeah, name a Raichu.
Yeah, name a Raichu. This is a. I like this game. I don't. I don't know. I started showing off stuff for a while, and then like I don't know. I got some people in the comments started saying I was showing off, and it like really fucking pissed me off, man. I was just like, I'm not showing anything ever again.
Yeah, but I mean, there's always gonna be like someone that's upset about it.
Yeah, but the problem is where I like got upset about it was because I used to film everything upstairs in my living room, and like I never showed anything for fucking
Hmm.
like 2 years, and then the second I started showing
You got
stuff,
all excited.
yeah, like I spent a
Yeah,
lot of money to get
I
all the
mean,
shelvings and everything, and then the second I started doing it, people were just like going after me. I'm just like, whatever.
yeah,
It's
I don't know.
to be honest with you, it
It's
still
also
bothers
like
me
it's not
even
like
to
you
this
didn't
day.
like spend time and effort collecting the stuff, so
Yeah,
that's the thing too. I try to tell everyone like you can have a really nice collection if you just spend enough time. Even if your budget is like super limited, if you have spare time and you want to spend that time buying collections, taking some stuff out that you want, selling the rest of it, break even, you can basically collect for free. I mean, it's going to cost you time, which isn't free, but you can collect for free essentially. If you have like even a limited budget, you could start with $500 or $1,000
three hundred
and just have
bucks.
like a ridiculous collection. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, three
over
hundred
time.
bucks. If you don't care about
I mean,
condition, you could. Sky's the
yeah,
limit, man. I
that's the
mean,
thing too. You don't need a PSA 10 of the hardest to grade possible card to have a cool collection. Like
yeah,
as long as you're happy with whatever you're collecting and the condition of it.
yeah. Just the other day, PokeRev did a video where he just went on TCG Player and he bought like a bunch of awesome cards, the lowest possible condition that they had, cheapest, whatever the cheapest card was. It was like Gold Star Mewtwo's, or not Mewtwo. It was a Gold Star Mew. It wasn't the Mewtwo, but either way, it was like Gold Star Mew.
Mhm.
Uh, the Charizard from Stormfront. It was like a bunch of like heavy hitter cards, and it was like $40, $50, $60 for some of the biggest chases in the hobby. They were just beat up a little bit, but you put them in a binder, nobody
Yeah,
knows. Like, if you really wanted to have like a cool
that or
collection,
even if you want like something that's near mint,
hmm,
the difference between like a PSA 10 and a near mint copy, and sometimes you even pick up an 8 or you pick up a 7 and it looks your
like
7 looks like an 8, your 7 looks like a 9, or your 8 looks like it could get a 9,
yep.
or your 9 could be a 10 if you sent it in again.
Oh,
Whether you want to keep it in a binder or you want to send it in again, like as long as you're happy with that. The premium on like the 10 premium is insane.
uh,
And it's like it's a debate whether do you want more cards, do you want more cool cards, or do you want less cards, but in a case that says it's a 10.
so, uh, Dribzor said, PK, got any first edition China Raichus? I do not have first edition close by, but I do have unlimited close by. But no first edition close by. Uh,
You should have sharpied on a little first ed symbol
here we go. I will show
on the
you
case.
right now onto it.
Sharpie little one on there. Relics, how's it going? Yeah, collect what you want to collect. Collect in the condition that you're happy with. Personally, like, I don't know. I'd rather nice cards than like I don't personally want something that's like folded in half. And there's people that are fine with that. but I also don't want something that's just like, okay, so it has a slight less white nick on the corner, and I'm gonna pay 10x for it.
So
No
Magikarp
thanks.
Collector says stamp a base set Raichu with a bootleg first edition stamp. This is what my credit card looks like. And if you look right there, oh, real hard to see.
Is that a pre-release,
Oh,
Raichu?
I'm not gonna flip this. I'm not gonna flip this over because this live will have to get deleted really quick.
No. Well, at least we won't get to see the three fun security numbers on
Yeah,
the.
but that's what my credit card looks like for you. Uh, but so there you go, Magikarp. That's your stamp base set Raichu pre-release bootleg.
Nice.
Uh, let's see. So yeah, so Namp is saying just because one or two people say something doesn't represent all of us. Yeah, it really it bothered me because at the time when people were shitting on me for showing my collection, I had literally just spent it was like $1,000+ to get this ready because paint the walls, buy the shelves, do all kinds of shit. It was like a substantial amount of money just and it wasn't just the money, it was the time. Like I had to paint everything. I had to paint the walls. I have a concrete floor in my basement. I had to paint the floors, and then I painted the ceiling. It was just it was so crazy time consuming. And then the first video where I was happy I was showing off shit, people were just like, "Oh, PK, just showing off stuff," and it fucking
PK's so
crushed me.
rich.
It crushed me so bad. It was so bad. Uh,
Yeah.
and then I was just like, I'll never do a collection door after that. But so, all
But
right,
no, it's
I
it's
gotta
weird.
I gotta piss again.
All right, do it. All right, chat. What are we talking about while PK's gone? Secrets? PK secrets? True, I agree. It does. It looks pretty good. He needs to stop trimming off the sides. Maybe add another poster on the left hand side. We just need the OBS improvements. Dribzor says, Rattle PK, what's the most expensive card in your collection? Also, what's your favorite card? Mine was the first edition base set Zard, but I sold it for the lawsuit. It is now probably the Gold Star Rayquaza. I think it was a PSA 8 before I cracked it. Prashant saying we need to see the collection one more time. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he needs to shy away from it. There's always going to be a couple people that are just being dickheads in the comments. He needs to not be concerned with it. I mean, it's fine. I think there's one thing showing off what you have just to show off what you have, and then there's another thing of just if you're making Pokemon content and you want to share or show your collection to other people, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to. Mango saying, what's the new deck you're looking to build? I'm not sure. I might stick with the Zoroark for now. I haven't seen anything that's really tickling my fancy unless something comes out in the upcoming sets. But
Somebody said, Rattle PK, what's the most expensive card in your collection? What's your favorite card? What's my favorite card? That's an easy one. Raichu. Base set.
base it right you.
PSA
Which one?
That one right there.
That one right there.
Yeah, that's my favorite card. I don't know.
Was
It's
it
expensive.
what was the first one that you purchased? Because you never pulled it, right?
I could never. That's
You
one
never
of those
got
other
it as a
things.
kid, so
I
then you
don't
came back
know.
and you got it. You don't remember what the first one that you purchased was?
It was a bunch of them at one time. Probably some unlimited one. I don't know. I mean, there's always
Can you check your eBay or your email history?
there's always raw ones within arm's reach.
We could do forensic search
Maybe.
here. We go check your eBay or check your email for eBay purchases. Find out what it was. If we can find the listing image, then we can match the The
Are
hollow
there
foil
listing
pattern.
images that go back to 2012, Rattle?
Probably not.
That's pretty far.
I know like I can go back and find like I bought a first edition Lugia, Neo Lugia, and T17, and it was like $50 for the two of them and like eights from PWCC like years ago. It might have been like 2013, 2014 or something like that.
Yeah, I PWCC wasn't even on my radar back then.
Yeah. That was back like when they were on eBay. I was using like Gixin. I'd like set the bids. Still an awesome tool. I've like recommended it to a couple people that were
Did you
thinking
hear
about
my Gigson
better.
story where Rusty like in a video kind of was like, "You guys need to get Gigson because of me." Did you hear that though?
Uh, did you mention it?
Yeah. So
I think
Rusty,
Catch 'em All Collectibles was talking about it recently. Like he was going to start using it because people were messaging him about bidding on stuff.
yes. So Rusty posted two of the collector Charizards. It's a Charizard from Dragon Majesty. It was available from like one of the Hartford events. It has a collector stamp on it, and I've been waiting for an
Oh yeah,
auction to come up, and Rusty has three of them. He put two of his up for auction, and I kept just missing the auction. And then one of them, I was live, and then I messaged Rusty. I was like, "Hey, I missed your live," and he's like, "Why do you
yeah.
not have Gigson?" And then in his like very next video, he
It's
kind of like
it's
was like,
it's
"Everyone needs to
free
get
if
it."
there's like certain stuff that you want. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's like it was like $7 a year or something.
yeah. It's just
It's
something I've
basically even if
never
you want the
done.
premium version, if you like, you can try it for free. I think you can win like three or four things a month, and then beyond that, you have to like start paying for it. But it's
Yeah, but
$7 a year. So
seven
like
dollars. I mean, you're
for anyone
talking.
like where I was like I would go on. It's kind of similar to what I was doing recently, where I would go on PWCC, but it would be eBay at this point in time that they were selling on eBay, and I would just like put in and go through every listing. I'd be like, okay, which cards do I not have? I put a bunch of lowball offers on all of them. I'd put them into Gixin. It would automatically bid for me. I'd wake up in the morning and I would get like five or seven like really sick deals, like just stupid, way underpriced deals.
Yeah, I've uh, I've missed out on a lot of those, and
But I
nobody's
mean, like
nobody's
not talking about
perfect.
like hindsight, like pricing. Like this was just like good deals at the time.
Yeah,
So like it still applies to now. If somebody is buying like if you're going through like Z and G auctions and you want to get Gixin, try it out first, see if it's like worthwhile. But if you're bidding on like a bunch of stuff or you're bidding on a lot of eBay auctions, like 100%. Like I don't use it right now because I'm not bidding on a lot of eBay auctions. But if I was, just you set up all the bids. It bids at like in the last minute for you, so you're not like bidding against somebody else.
speaking of Z&G and bidding on auctions, what do you think about that whole shill bidding thing? Like, I thought it was. Listen,
Yeah.
I've spoke James's praises on this channel before and talked about like, you know, I'm very positive about his service because I like him as a person. I like
Hmm.
Cam as a person, and I think like they're very honest people, and I think they run a good business. And like, I've put my name out there. I've really shilled their service hardcore on my channel, but it really felt good to see how he exposed the people that were shill bidding. Like it really even
Hmm.
reinforced like everything that I thought about their service made me feel better. I'm just curious what your thoughts were.
Yeah. I don't know. I was kind of pushing people to buy from them, to buy from like auctions and stuff like that in general, prior to them even doing that. But that just like gave me even more respect for them
Yeah.
to like call out the person that was doing this. They're kind of like they're putting their neck on the line a little bit. They're turning down business. They're turning down money
A lot of money,
potentially,
yeah.
and doing the right thing. And I think it's even. I think there's a lack of appreciation for the people that are doing the honest thing,
Mm-hmm.
where the Pokemon market has become like less of a free tendy era and has gone into more of a like people are trying to exploit like gambling with mystery products and everything else. And these guys are just doing straight up consignment services. You're getting what you're paying for. You're consigning something. It's straightforward. and like the Charizard King underscore 24 stuff, where he's gonna do deals for you and try and stab you in the back, uh, on percentages or anything like that. So it's no, I think we need to appreciate the honest business, the upfront business, the game stores, the people that are doing like consignments and stuff like that, and all the transparent stuff, all the stuff that isn't trying to exploit something, that isn't directly just buying, selling Pokemon the way it should be.
John Powline said, Rattle, let PK know how to pronounce niche. Niche? My work is done here.
Niche.
But
I think you
I
you
like the way
you
I do
told it.
things.
What are
What's
you
that?
calling it? Niche?
I don't know. What's the movie Lord of War with Nicolas Cage where he's like goes to like the I don't know, it's like the dude and he's like I like my way better. That's what I'm going to answer that. I like my way better. But Rattle, it's been
Yes.
fun. I think we can wrap
Should
up
we
for
call it?
tonight. Yeah, we can call it. Are you gonna still be? I know you're got a busy weekend. Are you gonna be around tomorrow night for the Rattle Happy Hour? Or are you gonna be?
I no, I'll be around tomorrow night. Happy hour. I might be working on stuff while I'm in there, but feel free, anyone who would like to stop by. If anyone has product that they want to open, if they don't have anyone to open with, and then feel free to bring that there. Don't feel like you need to, but anyone that's ever looking for company while they open product, or someone to cheer them on or be excited when they open something cool, we're here for it.
Yep. And number one mod in the game will drop a link for the Rattle Discord too. I won't. Sadly, I will not be around tomorrow night. We got some friends coming over. We're doing all you can eat sushi. So
Oh my
it's
god! All
yeah.
you can eat?
It's gonna be some degen stuff going on at my house tomorrow night.
Oh no!
I'm gonna be so
I don't know if
drunk
sushi,
tomorrow
if
night.
sushi and DGen stuff combines well.
Yeah, maybe,
It could be that
maybe
could be a rough one.
if after they all leave and if it's still
Yeah,
early in the
sneak in
night,
if you can.
I will hop in. I'll be probably 20 beers deep, but I'll be there. But yeah,
Cool.
guys, listen.
Definitely
I
do.
speak for myself. I know I can speak for Rattle. We appreciate every single one of you guys. And as always, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed to my channel or Rattle's channel, Rattle's, all his stuff is in the link in the description below. If you support Rattle, if you support the cause, if you support freedom of speech, also the very first link in the description below is a link to the Rattle Go Fund Me page. If you have the money and if you can donate, I recommend you donate in. It's for a good cause. You know, if you enjoy this type of content, you know, people should not be silenced. People should always be able to have a voice. But with that said, as always, guys, see you later. We'll catch you
Only
in
if
the
you
next
can.
video. Later.
See ya.